Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, February 12, 2020, the 4:30 edition. My name is Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. Since we only have one violation hearing, it's going to be easy. Everyone's going to say I do when they raise their right hand. So everyone raise your right hand. Say I do and we're done. Does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Everybody does. Excellent. It's a violation hearing. The village will go first. You need to go up to the podium and identify yourself. They will present you some documents. They'll put on their case. You'll get to put on yours, and I get to make a decision thereafter. That being said, take it away.
Thank you. Amity Barnard, Assistant Village Attorney. Just a clarification, this is an irreversible violation hearing. It's case 20-0046, 330 Business Parkway, SROA 330 Business, FLK LLC.
The code section is 21.5-5, 21.5-7, 21.5-8, 21.5-9, 21.5-12, 21.5-13, 21.5-14, 21.5-16, and 21.5-19. The description, power exterminators was observed illicitly discharging into a catch basin in the parking lot of the property where they maintain a business location at 390 Business Parkway 1U on December the 27th, 2019. This violation was sent certified mail, return receipt requested on 1/15/2020, and it was signed for and not dated. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, the video, and Exhibit 4, pictures.
All right. Who do we have from 330 Business Parkway, SROA 330 Business, FLK LLC?
Kelly Russell, District Manager representing Storage Rentals of America.
All right. I take it you have some documents you want to show the person. Let me look at this really quick. All right, you have a signed green card, so you have service. Please proceed.
I'm sorry? Yes, it is.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of irreversible violation and notice of hearing with the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. Exhibit 3 is a video which we'll show on the screen in a second. And Exhibit 4 is photographs of the violation.
I need to switch the presentation.
Do you have any objection to these documents?
None.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection as to the documents.
Yeah, we could play the video and then...
We'll play the video and then they can object if they so desire.
That's it.
Okay. Any objection to the video?
None.
All right, hearing no objection, admitted. What is the story here?
Well, they were discharging into the basin. And if you look at the first photo that was taken on 12/27, there's a bluish color liquid that was in there. Gail McLean went out and spoke to them and told them that they needed to have the basin actually pumped out. When she went back on the 29th, she took photos, which still show that there's liquid in here. It's full. It's not pumped out. You can no longer see the green, but if you see, you can still see the cap off of a cup in the basin that you can still see on the 27th.
Right.
So it doesn't appear that it was pumped out either. Then the gentleman from Power Exterminators called and told me that he had emptied it with buckets. And our concern with that is, I don't know where you're emptying it and then you're dumping that into a location that runs off into the groundwater. I mean, it's like creating another violation by doing that. And they never gave any kind of proof that they did have that pumped out.
Okay.
Sir, I'm representing the company that owns that particular facility.
Right.
Power Exterminators is a renter in the building. He is here and representing his company, but we were served the violation being that we're the owner of that particular location. So I'm not sure if you're needing to, from here, I guess, talk with him.
Probably both of you. Do you have any knowledge of his alleged violation?
I found out about it after we received the certified mail.
Okay. Did you do any investigation? Did you talk to him? What did you hear?
The property manager has spoken with him. And I spoke with his supervisor immediately, or rather the owner of the company who was based out of Miami,
Okay. And what did they tell you?
that they would be here at this hearing to make sure that it was understood that they do not dump anything other than water. I don't know anything really beyond that.
Okay. Do you have any questions of the witness?
Well, I would like to clarify for the record, these are not your typically cited code sections. So the code, regardless of what Supervisor Walker here said about their taking out bales of the material or pumping it out or what have you, that doesn't change the violation, which is the illicit discharge. So the code says you can only discharge certain things into stormwater basins. There's a specific list I can show you. Based on the color of this, it's the village's position that what was discharged there is not one of those approved things. This is somewhat of a closed system, I understand, for the property. However, it's not closed in the sense that if there were to be a significant rainfall event, that would overflow and discharge into the village's system. So just so you understand, the village has had to report this on its NPDES forms because this was a discharge into the system within the village that could create problems for the village's permits. So I can give you the code section.
National Pollution
Discharge
Eliminated
elimination system.
System. DES. I even know that. But I happen to be a town attorney too. So, all right. So I'm looking at Unicode,
Yes, sir.
section 21.5-8 and ed sec.
And 5-5, yes. 5-5 is where it starts and says you can't, essentially in layman's terms, you can't discharge anything except what's listed there in the following code sections. And this certainly appears based on the video to be them pumping out the contents of a truck. The material is unknown to me at this point, but certainly doesn't seem to be any of those things on the list.
Okay.
And it's the village's position that this is a fairly significant issue. We are here. We did schedule a special hearing for this. This is an irreparable and irreversible violation. Once it happened, you can't stop it. So we are here today asking for the maximum penalty under the law, which is a fine of $5,000, which you have the authority to assess here today.
Done them before. All right. So maybe we should hear from Power Exterminators.
Hello, my name's Andre Lopez with Power Exterminators. On that day, we had 2 of the city employees come into my office. One of my guys took one of the trucks, filled it up with water. I have pictures here, we carry 450 gallons, okay, of clean water on top of our trucks. Okay, this is what our trucks look like.
Okay, well, first, you have to show these pictures to her,
Okay.
and then we can get them into evidence, so I can look at them.
Yeah, if you want to do all this. And I also got pictures of the drainage, of the color. On the 27th, this shows nothing.
So we can speak on the record. So can you go ahead and flip through and explain to me what the photos
Okay.
are that you have?
This is a photo of one of our trucks.
How do you get to
Right
the
here on the
server?
side, this is all water clean out. This is all to clean your hands. Clean water that comes from a 450-gallon tank from the top,
Okay,
okay? Exactly where my guys were on the side of the truck cleaning, okay? Now, this is a photo of the catch basin. You see no green, you see nothing. And this was dated with the picture that I took on the 27th of December.
okay.
Now,
And
the
what's
two
this one?
ladies,
No,
That's
we're just
just the
dealing with,
flow from the back tank that comes into another tank, which is all clean water that flows into it.
Okay. I don't have any objection to these, so I'll give them to him. You go back to the podium and then so we get you on the record.
all right, so let me look at these. They're admitted without objection as Defendant's Composite Exhibit 1.
I also wanted to point something else to you guys too. If I may walk up.
We got more pictures?
It's also a photo of green, like you guys say it is. This is a lake that's right down the street from you guys. And what happens is when water doesn't move, this is what algae looks like. Okay, so you see green, clear, and everything looks green.
I have to object to these photos as they're taken of a different water body, not at issue here, so I'll object to these three.
All right, I'll admit them over objection just so they can talk about them.
Can I see the photos that you?
Sure. Here we go.
So she shows up on mine.
So he's saying this is,
The same day.
yeah, and this is after we clean the drain. At 2:49. What time is this photo taken?
I want to say it was in the morning. I don't have any of my messages.
I
on
can-
my phone.
Which one, the ones that we submitted?
You have the metadata? I love
They,
that term.
8:50 in the morning on 12/27. And then 12/29 was at 9:43 and 9:44.
Okay, so we would say that our photos, he's saying that this was done sometime on the 27th after they cleaned.
Okay, and you're saying
That's
that
what
you,
this says on the photo?
and you're saying that sometime after, on the 29th?
No, on the 27th.
No, on the 27th, the
Is when
same
you
day.
see that the green is there.
Okay,
On the 29th, my photos as well show that the green's not there, but it does show that the same cap, the cup lid, is in the drain that was in on the 27th.
Well, the cup lid, there's a
Regardless-
dumpster that's right next to the drain. So every time it rains, all the garbage goes into the drain.
Okay,
So you'll know.
so, yeah,
You want them back?
yeah.
okay.
Now, I do also have other photos if you need of AT&T doing some work by the drain.
The one that we objected to.
He had made them
I don't think you guys see them.
This is,
All right, you really need to do all your photos in one shot.
Okay.
Because they just keep coming back. I mean, I don't mind. And I'll probably admit them all, but, you know, go on up and show them to her. Yes, if you're gonna talk about them, they have to be admitted into evidence. Oh, it's not a might as well, it's has to happen.
Can you explain these?
That's AT&T did work there.
And what relevance does that have to this case?
Because you got concrete going into the same catch basin.
Well,
I would object to
When it
these because we're not
rains.
here about that. We're here about the video.
let me,
and
I
the-
have to look at them before I rule either way. All right, so you're telling me that's concrete dust and in January 6th?
Mm-hmm.
And what relevance does this have for anything?
Just nothing. It's just showing you guys that other people, whatever work was done after, whatever, is still going into that drainage.
Okay, well, these I will not allow because it
Okay,
really is not
that's
the
fine.
right time frame, and it's not the right
No problem, I understand.
of material. This would be gray discharge from the concrete mixture,
And
and it's probably just washing over the top of it.
it's not an
a
illicit
la-
discharge, it's
not
just
a
runoff.
discharge, it's just
No problem.
the surface, so those are out. Yeah, but
2
what,
days later, exactly the same incident, exactly the same.
well, I don't know
With
that,
just a little bit more grass over it.
well, which is the first day?
This is the first day,
And that's the second?
second day.
It almost looks like,
It didn't even move.
yeah, well, it almost looks backwards. The first day, it's got cleaner edges than the second day.
Right, that's here.
No, I'm
It
talking,
rained.
yeah,
It was raining almost all day, off and on.
yeah. All right,
The water was kind of moving anyway.
okay, so now that I have all these things into evidence, what are you trying to tell me about your 450 gallons of water and what you do with them?
Well, we fill up our tanks every day for 450 gallons of water.
Okay,
Okay, it's all clean water. All our chemicals are mixed on a job site. We never mix any chemicals in our tanks. Okay? All our chemicals are mixed on a job site. It's basically all water that we have there until we get to a job site, and then we determine what we need to do, what chemicals to use in order to treat the problems. Okay? That morning, my guy filled up a 450-gallon tank on a small truck that couldn't handle it, and he decided on his own, I didn't know, to dump some of the water out. That's what you're seeing in the video.
all right, now, you have 450 gallons of clean water, you have, I take it, dry chemicals or wet chemicals? What kind of chemicals?
It's all liquid chemicals, but
Okay,
the
so you have
liquid,
liquid chemicals, you have a 450-gallon tank. Where are the chemicals mixed with the water?
we have a 50-gallon tank and we have a 100-gallon tank that we mix into.
Okay,
Okay, and those tanks determine, we normally use a 50-gallon tank, okay, all the time. Once we use a 50-gallon tank, we use it at a job, we refill it with water, empty it out, and then refill it again, make sure it's nice and clean.
all right, so you refill the tank with water, where do you empty it out?
The tank that we refill, we empty it out, we spray it on the job site.
Okay. So you spray whatever you're gonna spray, and then you spray on top of it with water.
Well, what we do is we spray what we're gonna spray, and then we take about 2 or 3 gallons of water, put it in there, and then we spray it again.
Right, so you're spraying 50 gallons of a mixture, and then you're cleaning it out with 2 or 3 gallons and
Yeah.
spraying that out?
Yeah, but we don't use that. What I'm trying to say is, the 450-gallon tank, okay, all our chemicals we mix on site when we get to the jobs. Every time that we carry water in the back, it's just plain water. That day, my guys filled up a 450-gallon tank for a smaller truck, and all they did was emptied out the water. That's what I'm trying to say. All it was water.
All right, how do you drain, if at all, the 100-gallon tank and the 50-gallon tank? Do you ever drain?
We have switches that we can switch over.
And where do you drain them, and how do you drain them when you do? Do you ever?
The tanks,
Yes, the mixing tanks, as I will call them.
well, the mixing tanks, when we use them, is we always do them on site on the property. So if we spray a certain property, then what we do, if it needs to be cleaned, what we do is put water on it and then spray it again. We spray it out onto the property.
Okay, so you never discharge out of the mixing tanks?
No.
You just clean them out by respraying them on off-site?
Yeah, we never carry mixed chemicals in those tanks. We only carry water.
Okay, so,
Mixed chemicals are done on the job site.
All right, now, are you required to have any licenses from the EPA or anything similar for your chemicals?
We have all our licenses, pest control licenses, we have everything in our office.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, do you have EPA licenses for your chemicals, for their storage, for their, use? Do you have
Well,
something-
chemicals, we buy at Site 1, and what we do is we go there, we buy what we need, and we use it, and then that's it. Then the next day, we go again, and we buy what we need, and we use it. We don't store chemicals.
Okay, where's Site 1?
Site 1 is right on Southern Boulevard, and right before Jog Road.
Okay, so you go to a third-party vendor to buy these things, or are they associated with your company?
No, they associate with our company because we buy a lot of products from them. It's a pest control product that it's like a supplier. We go there and we buy our
Okay,
supplies.
so you buy your suppliers from a third party and you get them there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to get the story. I've got plenty of time to deal with this, so I might as well get the whole thing. So you're now, do the 450-gallon tank and the mixing tanks all discharge from the same location? I mean, they're showing pictures of this guy discharging something out of the side. Is that where everything discharges, or is that?
Well,
only
we
where-
have water clean out on the side of our truck. Okay, like if you see the picture, you have a picture there, and I put it on there on the picture. I wrote it down. There's a valve there that you open up, and that water comes from the 450-gallon tank.
Okay, but there is no separate valves for the 50 and the 100-gallon tanks?
Like clean out valves,
Yes.
they are, but they're like in the bottom of the truck, some on the other side.
Okay, so there's a separate location where you're draining them,
Yes,
and this is the, okay.
that's to clean your hands, you wash your face, and
Okay, and I get to see the video again. We'll see if we can pinpoint where this thing is draining from.
Linda, do you know where the video is?
Lou, how do you get to the,
To the video, maybe in videos?
So,
I'm gonna close it,
I don't know where you went.
code right here. There we go. 19. Just hit play and see what happens.
Yeah,
Yes,
see,
you don't
that's the
want-
other one, yeah.
Yeah, so how did you switch it? Oh, it had a thing to turn it. Hit it.
No, you can't use this one.
You can't turn it with
No,
the thing that
that's- no.
turns it?
I'll turn my head.
Get out of it. You gotta
It's right
click it,
here.
Click escape. No. Does it open? What program opened it?
Asking there we go.
I think you need to go just slightly, there we go.
You can't, that thing is makes it do it all over again.
That's fine. All right, stop the video. All right, so where are the drains under the truck in relation to this video? Is it up there on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, but he'd have to look sideways to see
That's sideways. If the guy's got to turn his head, he's got to turn his head. Where are the drain valves for the chemically mixed tanks?
drain valves will be on the other side,
On the other side of the truck, on the driver's side.
on the driver's side, yes.
And where are they in terms of the drivers?
The hand cleanup valve is on the passenger side.
That's not my question. I'll get to that in a minute. The mixing tank drains, are they in the front, the middle, or the back of the
They're
driver's
all the
side?
way on the driver's side back. They come
Okay, so-
out the back on the side of the tank.
Okay, so that's, all right. And so the only thing you can drain off of the passenger side is out of the water tank. Is that what
Out of
you're
the
trying to
water
tell
tank.
me?
Yep, that's correct. That's why I brought the pictures to show you guys.
And the village's position and the code enforcement officer who was out there, originally they denied discharging anything. Then
Okay.
it turned to water, but that doesn't refute the color of what is in the storm drain. I would like to know if any of the chemicals that they use are the color.
That's a wonderful question that you can ask him. I don't know all of this. I'm just trying to get, he's trying to tell me that it's water draining out because I'm trying to focus on that one point there, that it's water draining out. Stop. Okay, so that was my shot. Now you can go for the color because I have no idea. He's gonna ask you, what color are the chemicals that you use?
Any chemical that you use, pesticide, is always milk white.
So they're all milk white in
They're
color.
all
When
milk
you
white.
do-
No matter how you mix it, it's gonna come out milk white.
Okay, there's no color to it, there's no blue, there's no green.
There's no blue, no green. Nope.
Okay.
You don't use any coloring agent in it so you can see where you've sprayed?
No, we don't spray color on grass. That's people that do like city work with Roundup and stuff when they use for weeds. They use a marking agent, whatever they use.
Okay, so you do not have, other than a cloudy white or an off-white, you do not use any chemicals that have any color that is
No,
blue or
because
green?
all our fertilizers that we put down are granular. So we use granular fertilizer, and everything that we use pest control wise, it's either Telstar or Bifin, which is all a white chemical. It looks like milk.
Okay, so if you discharge this out of your tank, on the passenger side in the back, it would pour out looking like white mineral.
And it'll stay in the drain for a long time. White.
I don't know who, do you know who you spoke with that day?
You mean in his office?
Yeah, his employee.
Him. I spoke to him.
Hmm.
And he was the one who denied discharging anything?
At first, he said that maybe it was a new guy and maybe he discharged something. And then when I talked to him later on in the day, he said that he had pumped it out.
But he didn't say what he pumped out, he just said he pumped it out.
I asked him when I was there to please pump the drain out, that I had a complaint about it, and that it looked like some kind of green something in the drain. It's not a clear drain like I'm used to looking in. And you said that you would have it pumped out. You had your secretary call someone into the office. And I asked you to call me when you did it, and you never called me, so I called you back later in the afternoon. And you said that, I spoke to your secretary, and she said it had been done.
So, I mean, the photographs that Officer McLean took clearly show something in the storm drain which shouldn't be in there, so.
The problem I have is I don't know what the something in the storm drain was. It's, it's either on his testimony, it's supposed to be either water or a milky substance, which is the only thing he uses in those trucks. And he's got the only testimony we have on that, in that regard.
And you can even test that out with pest control. You mix it with water, it's white.
So that's my problem. In the best of all possible worlds, you grab a sample and test it. I don't know if he had chemicals that created some sort of color afterwards, then I could probably make that leap. But right now I'm having a very hard time making the leap because I don't know what would turn it blue or green.
And nothing that you add to your fertilizer changes the color?
All I use is granular fertilizer.
The fertilizer's all dry stuff.
Yeah.
I know, but they oftentimes do they make it green so that it goes on the grass nicely.
Yeah, well, that's not a fertilizer then, unless it's.
No,
you don't use
that's called a dyeing agent. That's what people use, like when they spray weeds on concrete, like for the city. Because I used to do a lot of landscaping before. The city requires people who spray for weeds to use dye, so they'll know that the job is being done. We don't use dye. Dye is blue. and sometimes it could be green.
But you don't use that in
We
your...
don't use that on the grass. We don't use any of that.
You have dyes at all in your shop?
No.
And our issue is if it was just water, why was it green? And if it was raining and they discharged 400 gallons of water into a storm drain which contains water, it shouldn't have been bright green.
Yeah, but what could it be? I mean, is there proof that it's a pesticide or anything? Now, that's my problem right there, is like direct testimony that it's the wrong color for what he mixes versus it's green, so something had to have been pumped out by him.
I mean, we have the video that shows them pumping into the storm
I
drain and a
understand
photograph
that.
of the color of it after it was in there.
Right,
So
I
I would
under-
dispute that it was water.
All right, and you may be able to dispute it's water. The only thing I can tell you from the testimony is on that side of the vehicle, it appears that the only thing there is the water outlet.
Yep.
And you don't mix in the 450-gallon tank, it's just straight water coming out of
It's
it.
just straight water. We have a fire hydrant that we have a meter from the city, and that's what we get our water from.
So that's my problem. We've got the water on that side, he's on that side, he seems to be discharging something from that side. If we're the other side of the vehicle, or if we were backed up to the drain, I still have the problem with the color. Because I can't tell what that is or who that, who created the greenness. And he's telling me there's algae out there in his other photographs, but I don't know.
That's why I brought the photos of the algae, because when water sits and it doesn't move, it creates an algae and it looks a green color.
I didn't see the truck. Truck wasn't there.
Yeah,
I mean, algae wouldn't be present in a drain. Once you pumped, they would have flushed the system. Algae grows when water is stagnant, and it sits there.
right.
But if you move
But-
the water, then you're moving the algae, and then you don't see the color anymore. And when she came and told me clean it out, I obliged. I knew it was water, and I didn't want any issues, so I went, took a couple pails out, and that's the color that you see on the picture.
So you have, all right, which picture shows post-drain or post-cleanup? Is that just,
The one for the 27th at 2:49, which is the same day.
all right, and you're telling me that these photos on the 27th show that it's clear? Come on up here, just look at these and tell me. You gotta go over by her microphone.
Yep, these are clear because you don't see no green. What you're seeing is the reflection from the sun.
From the sky?
On the 27th,
Yep.
it rained all day. It was do you remember telling me how much rain it was and that you had a hard time trying to empty the drain?
I did empty the drain, and I believe I spoke to you a couple days after because I
Right.
tried calling. Are you Linda?
I am Linda.
Okay, I tried calling, left you messages, you never called me
I
back.
was on vacation,
Okay,
but it rained all day on the 27th.
Okay.
well, it didn't rain all day.
So it rained on the 27th, and you say it's cleared out, and you cleared it out on the 27th anyway, even though it was raining part of the day. So, no, but nothing you have in your shop will turn the water blue or green.
No.
Nothing you have on your trucks will turn the water blue or green.
No, all we do is pest control, and it, like I said, it's a milky color. And you can go to Site 1, tell them to give you any kind of pest control, you mix it, and it's gonna be white.
Okay. Do you have anything further from either of you? Do you have a final argument? You just tell me that.
I guess, and this is not what our question is, but Do you normally discharge your water there?
Never, never. Like I said, it was a new employee that I just hired, and he decided to do that because he filled up the tank too much on a smaller truck. I wasn't even aware of it until you guys came to me.
Do you have a permit to discharge into that storm drain?
We don't have any permits to discharge. But it was something that was done on a mistake from a new employee.
All right,
And
but I don't
all
care
it
about
was
the
was
mistake
water.
or not mistake, it's water, right?
Yeah.
You're telling us just the water tank was too heavy?
The
too
water
heavy for
tank, he
vehicle?
filled the water tank too much on a smaller truck that I had, and he decided to dump out some of the water.
I mean, I don't know that any of, even if it was water from his truck, let's assume that it was water, I don't think that that's one of the things listed on here. So if he's not supposed to be discharging into that storm drain, and if he has to get authorization to discharge
But
any
the
of
whole
these
point of this
things,
storm drain is to take in water. I mean,
not discharge water, it's a storm drain for runoff.
Okay,
And to specifically discharge into a point source discharge, which is what he did, into a designated grate.
all right,
even
let
water
me
is
look at the
not
list,
on there.
let me look at the
So-
list again. 'Cause,
None of those things is water from the tank of a fertilizer truck.
yeah, but if it's uncontaminated pumped groundwater, if he's getting it out of a well, the fact that it sat into a tank does not really change its character. Does it?
Which tank was it in?
It's, they're saying if it's pumped into the 450-gallon freshwater tank,
Is it potable water?
the water you put in, is it drinkable?
Well, it's from a fire hydrant, I assume so. I mean,
It's
we
the same
have
water in
we
the
have a
system.
city meter.
So your water comes, it's metered out?
Yeah, it's metered out from the fire hydrant. We pay for the meter, we pay for everything.
You have a water meter, who do you pay?
The city of Palm Beach, the meter's in the back where the facility is.
City of Royal Palm Beach? You
Yeah.
get a water bill?
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have.
You have from Palm Beach County Water,
Yeah, Palm Beach County.
PBCWUD. That's who my check goes to every month. Palm Beach County Water something. Yeah, because if it's pumped groundwater, it seems like it's not a prohibited thing, just because it went into a freshwater holding tank.
But he's not supposed to be discharging it there. That storm drain is for water that collects in the parking lot to drain off. You're not supposed to pump anything unless you have an MPDES permit to pump into that drain.
Okay.
But we've been in that facility 15 years. I've been there 6 years, never had an issue.
And you don't normally-
Hired a new employee, the guy made a mistake.
And you don't
Everybody's
normally
human,
pump into that system,
which
right?
was water.
Yeah, he's not like the guys who's, emptying his wastewater tank out of his RV or whatever,
All I know
thing
is
is-
the photographs that the village code compliance officer took do not appear to be water. It appears to be very green.
Right, and all I have is testimony that the only thing you do from that side of the truck is pump water out.
Exactly.
So,
Well, the complaint I had, and I had two separate complaints that day, was that they're doing it again, and we have video of it, and they're pumping green chemicals into the sewer. And that was the complaint I had, and when I went there, it looks green.
Well, I wish that person was here. That's all I can say.
yeah, because
Because
I
I
can't,
basically know who the person is, probably. The person that doesn't get along with us.
The village got a complaint, as she's saying, of someone
yeah, the
pumping
village
green
got a
water.
complaint, and, but I'm looking at the structural dynamics of the truck. And if
Well, but
that's,
can we really see from that video exactly where the pipe is, where the tube is coming from?
if it's not coming from the driver's rear, it's coming from the passenger mid or front. That's where he is parked and where it's discharging from. And if you look at the pictures of the tank truck, that's where the outlet is at the front of the tank, on the passenger side,
And are
correct?
there hoses on that truck that could come from the other side or underneath the truck?
Nope.
Well, it has to be a hose because the picture he showed is a big PVC pipe. So they have to connect a hose to it.
Right, but that's just the freshwater side, you know, and I can understand you connecting the hose to the freshwater side to vent it or discharge it. I get that. I just don't get the chemical part of it.
Which that's why I brought those pictures because of allergy. It does.
I don't know what the green is, and that's the other problem is, you know, it could have been before, it could have been after, it could have, I don't know. And that's the leap I can't, you know, just,
Well, could we pull the video back up on the
Sure.
screen? There's clearly a little hose, and there's also clearly something that's been placed in between, almost to block the gentleman who's squatting down there. I don't know if that's a garbage can or a barrel or what that is.
see, I have no idea. What's the barrel thing?
I don't know. Maybe a garbage can that was there. I don't know. There's a dumpster there, and people throw all their garbage everywhere there. So.
So there's a garbage can in between your gentleman's truck.
Yeah,
and
but then,
himself.
but if you go back there, I could actually see the hose.
It's a tiny little hose. Is that how he discharged 400 gallons of water through a tiny little hose?
Well, he didn't say he discharged 400, he just said he discharged some water through the hose because there was too much water. I don't know that he testified it was 450 gallons, and the video clip's only like 12 seconds, so you're not going to capture the entire thing. That little hose appears to be pretty small when compared to that inlet or that outlet on the water discharge size. How could you, what do you have that steps it down? Because
No,
you have,
we have this water. Some of them have the hose. Some of them have that discharge thing on the side. Okay. Now the hose that you see in the back is from a reel.
I'm looking at the video right there. It appears between,
I can.
go back,
A little black hose right there dangling.
right there.
Yeah, that's a water.
And how is that water hose hooked up to that truck? Where is it hooked up to? Is it hooked up to the water tank?
It hooks up to the water tank. Yeah, we have some of them that'll hook up to the water tank.
Okay, so that one has an adapter or something that takes the
Yes.
hose size down to just a hose?
Mm-hmm. Like some of them have a little adapter that come out with a water hose where you open it with a spigot, and then some of them have the nozzle that you just open up and it'll drain down,
We've
which is
seen
all
that.
clean water, which is like the one I showed there in the picture.
Okay.
So it'd be the passenger side, right? And he's saying the water tank is there? Looks like it's up there.
He's saying that this goes into there.
He's saying that there is a connector that you put on there that adapts it to a hose outlet, that you're not shooting it out at whatever that is, 2 or 3 inches diameter hose.
Yes. We have different trucks, and that truck there has a spigot that comes down. The other truck has a screw-on spigot where you hook up a hose, and it has...
All right, the truck we're looking at in the video, does that have a hose attached?
That one has the hose attachment.
Okay. And that truck we're looking at in the video also has the outlet on the passenger side for the freshwater tank.
Yeah, it's on the passenger side just like that, but it's on the hose outlet.
Okay. It would have been better if you would have brought pictures of the actual truck instead of just a truck. All right, that's what they're saying is on that particular truck, there's actually a hose coming out of there. And that's what
And
he's using to
That particular
drain.
truck, it's a smaller truck. It's not as big as this one that can hold the 450 gallon.
Okay. Anything further?
Our position doesn't change. I mean,
Okay. All right, well, I've heard evidence and I've heard testimony from both sides. I've seen photographs of the vehicle, I've seen the video of someone discharging something into the stormwater system. But all I've heard so far is that what you do out of there is just water that you've already pumped out of basically a fire hydrant into your truck that you're recycling back into it.
Yep.
And your testimony is that there's no chemicals on that side, And even if there were chemicals on the truck, they're not that color.
They're not that color. Any pesticide is gonna be white.
Okay. And with that and nothing further, and no analysis of the colored water, I can't make the logical conclusion that he created the green water discharge. And without my being able to do that, I don't see how I can fine him for discharging something that I can't tell what it is. It could have pre-existed this, it could have post-existed it, it could still be there, I don't know. But all I have is the testimony that it's a freshwater discharge into a storm drain. So, I can't find a violation if I can't get proof of what that liquid was. I don't want to be flippant about what it is, I do not know, and that's the problem, I just don't know.
And we're comfortable that it's one of these things that are authorized exceptions.
And we're comfortable that it's the groundwater, some sort of potable groundwater that he's pumped out. Whatever that exception was, it's in
But
there.
it wasn't, the one that has to do with potable water says water line flushing and other contributions from potable water sources. That is not the same as discharging from a extermination truck.
If you were discharging the extermination tanks, I would agree, but it's just a freshwater tank. And that's all it is, it's just fresh water.
But my point is his truck is not a potable water source. He loaded
It's
potable water.
understood, it was
That's
not a
intended to be
portable
discharging
water.
into a fire hydrant, is what that's supposed to cover.
I don't believe that. I think that he would be under that exception because it's just fresh water that's been pumped into a tank and they haven't done anything to change its nature. It doesn't change it just because it's sitting on a vehicle that carries pesticides and other chemicals. If they mix something in there, I could wholeheartedly agree, but they're not flushing that out.
But just by the very nature of them taking a potable water source and putting it into a tank, changes it from potable water. It's no longer,
They use it to wash their hands and their faces and things
or they
with
use it to mix chemicals.
They can also use it to mix chemicals. That doesn't make it non-potable. It's just still water.
Does the truck say potable water on the water tank?
I don't know that it's required to. Is there some sort of, Florida regulation, administrative code thing that I need to know that says you have to have potable water on a tank to make it potable water? I
Once it's
don't
put
know.
into a dirty tank, it's not potable water anymore. But I've heard,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't make the leap there. I mean, if there was some sort of analysis that was a fertilizer or a pesticide or something, that would have been great. But if I've got white chemicals and this is a green or blue discharge, I can't make the leap. I just can't.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Thank you.
You done?
I'll get the, I gotta go over and get my cases.
like, oh, I can't see anything. Oh, he's sitting down.
Oh, he's blocked by the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just dark and stuff. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate Hearing for Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. As I like to say, if you have a code enforcement issue, you are in the right place. A note to people, I do have 2 children, so I'm not worried about kids making noises. It's all good. Don't worry, we got one in the back out there too, and don't forget the gentleman outside because he's got a cranky boy too. All right, my name's Doug McGibbon. I'm the special magistrate. The first thing we're going to do is swear everyone in. We'll probably do this once or twice more as strays come in. The gentleman out there in the foyer, just raise your right hand with the rest of us. Does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Everyone does except for the kids. We're all good.
That's okay.
All right, most of our hearings tonight are going to be either fine assessment hearings or violation hearings. When you hear your name being called, you get to go up to that other podium over there. You get to announce yourself. The village will show you documents. You'll get to object if you want, and they'll present their case. You get to present yours, and I get to make a decision. That flips when we get to the few fine mitigation cases in the back. They've already been through the process, and they've done a fine assessment hearing, or a violation hearing, a fine assessment hearing, and they've been fined, and they're asking for relief, so they get to go first. I think that's pretty much the standard speech, so Village of Royal Palm Beach, please take it away. They're not paying attention. Okay.
Yeah, we were thinking about trying to do the children first, but
Childless people, they don't understand how to tune them out.
so we're going to start on page
Children.
their violations. So we're going to start on fine assessment hearings, page 2, near the center, case 19-1137, 120 Sparrow Drive, Parkview at Palm Beach Condominium Association, Inc.
Code Enforcement Officer Margaret Hancock, Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order granting continuation and assessing fine. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Parkview?
Good afternoon.
Okay, hold on a second, let me look through these. Okay. You have a signed green card, you have service. People running everywhere.
I'm well. How are
Can
you?
you state your name for the record, please?
I'm Allison Hertz, the attorney representing the Condominium Association from the firm of K. Bender Rembaum.
All right,
Mind if I close this for 1 second?
Sure.
could you spell your last name for us?
Hertz.
Like the car rental company.
Yes.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order granting continuance. The signed green card for that order. Exhibit 2 is Division of Corporations documentation for the Condominium Association. Page 2. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violations. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No objection.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection, so. We up to the status/fine assessment hearing here, I take it? Oh, we have a new person here. Okay. What is going on with this case, please?
They still have a lot of vegetation that's dead, dying, and missing that they need to install
All right,
with this one.
and have they come up with any sort of plan for you? Have they told you anything?
I haven't heard nothing on this.
Okay. Ms. Hertz.
All right.
Your turn.
The association, 45-unit condominium, obtained the notice. It was out of site plan approval. Main issue were the landscaping, trees, a lot of stuff, very comprehensive. The association has taken a lot of action at this time. Following the December hearing, they went out immediately for RFPs to get the job bidded out. They obtained proposals. I have a proposal that they did execute here today. They also went out to get a bank loan to finance this project because this project is expensive. This is not a condominium that has a lot of cash flow. So they have committed, by way of board meeting minutes that I can introduce to you, to both this contract and to the bank loan to finance the project. The contractor for the landscaping had applied for a permit, has acquired a permit. So the association advises me that they don't see this project taking any longer than 90 days. And they wish for you to try to waive any fines at this time and reassess after that 90-day period.
Well.
Would you like to have any of these?
Oh, yeah, we like all of
Okay.
those. You need to show them to council first.
This was the RFP. You could see that it was, all the contracts were due by January 3rd. This is a board of 3 people, so they have to get together with notice posted on the property and make these decisions as we are here today at a public meeting, so it takes a little longer. These are the minutes of the meeting where they approved this contract and they approved the Center State financing. And you can have that. And I don't have a copy of the permit, but I'm aware it does exist.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay, well, that's why I said status fine assessment hearings, just to make sure that things are moving. Do you have any objection to these? All right, all the defendants are admitted without objection as defendants composite 1. Okay. Okay. Got it.
The issue here is just, it's quite comprehensive with what needs to be done, and it wasn't simply a few dead trees. It was really their whole landscaping plan had to be revived and recomplied with. So for this type of condominium with not a lot of resources, it was more difficult for them to proceed, but I feel like they're on a pretty good path at this point.
She's fine. She's fine. All right, Village, what do you say?
90 days from today, is that what you're?
Yes, that's the request.
Do you want to do 90 or you want to do 60 and check on their progress? It's
That
up
would
to
be
you.
my preference,
I think
yeah.
that's what I'm leaning to, too.
Because
Maybe
we've
send
given them
us-
several months. I mean, this has been since July, so
Yeah,
it's.
but I don't-
But I understand you're making progress, but
Yeah, it's a hard thing for small condominium units
Right.
to deal with this, especially since this seems to be a
It's a pretty big
Of-
project.
5-figure project for a small amount of units, so it's almost probably close to $1,000 per unit.
so if we could set compliance prior to the April hearing, so that'd be April 3rd,
Well, 3/3 is,
4/3,
4/3 is, and when's the hearing date?
4/8,
4/8.
or maintain the $25 a day fine.
And I'm just gonna do it again as a status
Status/fine.
fine, because if they're, should be at least into the project, if not 2/3 of the way through the project, they can bring me pretty pictures of pretty new plants and tell me that they're gonna be done soon.
I have no doubt.
Okay. Does that work for everyone?
Works.
Yes, thank you.
4/3, 4/8, or a status, or compliance by 4/3, or appear at the 4/8 hearing for a status/fine assessment hearing, and $25 a day fine if we get to that point, if they've done nothing. Those are for us. We're putting those in the file.
Thank you.
Tell Jeffrey I said hi.
I will.
Okay.
And that's it for us, thank you.
Okay.
She has
Granted.
another case, but it'll be
Thank you
later.
very much.
Next.
If we could, Special Magistrate, skip to the violation hearings to get the children
Sure. See,
processed.
this is your past,
Can I?
this
can
is
I
a fast
mention
pass. This is like
one
Disney
thing-
backwards.
One thing before I leave the podium, my client has another matter
We're
later
gonna hear
on.
that in a little
I'm
bit.
not here to represent them on that matter, but they advised me that it should be taken care of and they don't believe it should be an issue. That, I
Is
just
it a
wanted to mention.
violation?
It was something about parking strips, but they advised me that that project is ongoing right now.
They have put in for a permit. They have not achieved a permit yet. They should be fine.
Okay.
With the compliance date that we're asking.
Okay, great, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So if we could skip now to the violation hearings, that's page 7 of your agenda.
Okay.
First case is 19-1690, 110 Hiram Parkway, Gregory Cloutier.
Code Sections 2657, a shed without a permit in the setback. I observed this violation on 11/19/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 11/19/19, and I received it on 12/5/19. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
All right, so you have a signed green card? Yeah, squiggles, but it's signed. So you do have service. This is the boy of our cruise here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not having a good night.
Gregory Cloutier.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation,
Cool.
signed green card. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation.
Okay.
Excuse me, Exhibit 4 is the village's ISO 400 permit information. Do you have any objections to these documents?
No.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, code enforcement officer, is there a shed in that dark picture somewhere?
There is.
Okay. Because I'm going to ask him too, but you'll just
I
put it out
can
there.
point it out to you if you'd like.
Yeah.
fine.
No, there is.
All right, is it, are you pretty much done, or are you going to leap into that? It's right there. Okay.
It's real dirty, so it's kind of camouflage.
Oh, okay.
And it's right on the property line.
Gotcha. So,
You'll need to relocate it and get it permitted.
yeah, is that
That's-
yours, or did you buy it?
It was given to me, so I just kind of stuck it there. But I just started the process of permitting it, and it's from '03. And I called a shed company to try to get like the engineering of it to submit, and they pretty much said it redoes every 3 years, like the structurals of it and the wind speed. So I'm probably just gonna get rid of it if it's gonna be a problem to get it through permitting.
All right, well, they're going to give you what, how much time?
We're asking for compliance by March 26th or appearance at the April 8th fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right, so you need to be either rid of it by the 26th or get your permit issued by the 26th if you can
Okay.
find your engineering stuff, and you can meet the setbacks, and you have a survey, and you go through all that, or...
Yeah, I have all that. The only thing is my worry about getting it through.
Okay, or a $25 a day fine. Okay. All right, compliance by March 26th or April 8th or $25. Here's a little shout out to everyone in the room. He can go home tonight and pull that thing down and get it out of his yard and think he's fine, but he's not. If you look at the orders that I signed, there's only one part of it that's in bold, and it says, once you do whatever you've done, you have to call the code enforcement officer for an inspection so they can verify it and they can give you an affidavit of compliance to put in your file. That way we know that it's done before the date and there's no issue at all, because you can come back here 3 years from now and say, I did it, and you'll have a $40,000 fine and you'll be going, what, I moved it.
So wait, so what do I got to do now?
So once you
for
get
the
it
inspection.
moved or
Okay, so call an
permitted, you
inspector to
call
come.
her back and you say,
Okay.
come inspect it. If it's gone, she's gonna say, it's gone. You'll
Gotcha.
end up with an affidavit in your file that you'll never see, but it's proof that you removed it in time.
Okay.
Okay, just so everyone's clear on that. We just want to make sure that your file's closed out properly.
Yep.
So you don't end up with a fine, then you come back here years later and go, oh my God.
Gotcha.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You must not like the game on that phone.
Next one down on the
Seems
same,
a lot happier playing with the girls over there. He's quieter now. He's like, grab the phone mean. All right, next.
on the same page, please, 19-1711, 140 Swan Parkway East, Teresa W. Zeddy.
Is that
Code
right in a
section is
row?
622-108.4, 06190 A1 and 3, and 15132. AC was changed out without a permit. Roof structure and driveway are stained. Lawn has bare spots. I observed this violation on 11/24/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 11/25/19, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Okay, you have an affidavit of service, so you can proceed.
Yep. Papers. Teresa Zeddy.
Thank you, ma'am. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service, violation and notice of hearing, the notice of hearing itself, notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations.
What's it supposed to be?
And Exhibit 4 is the village's ISO 400 permit information. Do you have any objection to these documents? It just shows no permit has been issued.
Okay.
Shows your history of,
Oh, permits?
yeah, old permits.
Yeah, they're just doing that to show there's no AC permit
Think
on
so,
there.
no.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, so we have an AC that you need to get permitted, and it obviously looks like everything's stained out there. It needs some pressure cleaning time.
Yes.
Okay. And what's your response to their case? You need to clean some things
Well,
up?
I just need time to get it done, that's all. We didn't know that we had to have a permit to change out the air conditioning. Apparently, the air conditioning company didn't inform us.
Yeah,
all
it's
that,
all,
So we're going round and round with that, so, and I work 6 days a week, so it's not like I have convenient time to pop into the office and get the paperwork and all that.
yeah, well, you're gonna have to send someone forward for it because, a lot of these things, these inspections are actually making sure your guy does it right,
Right,
especially when there's electrical connections. And that's the biggest thing about the AC is you've got it connected to juice and you want to make sure at least it's done well.
I get that, and, I would have expected the company to let us know that.
You'll be
but-
surprised how many companies skip that step even though they know. All right, so is this a 326?
Yes, sir, or 4.8 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Another thing, you've got me for the sodding or whatever under the tree. We've lived there 27 years and nothing grows under there but weeds. We've put sod there, we've put seed there, we've put sod there, nothing grows. So,
It's mostly the area where you pull the car up on the side of the house. So maybe if you could refrain from driving on the same path every day, like
okay.
Or
move
park
over
it
a
in
little
the
bit
swale.
and give the grass time to
Yeah.
grow. They don't have a
Oh,
swale
they
there.
don't have a swale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no
okay,
sidewalk.
Got in trouble for parking sideways multiple times, which is why we had to start parking where
Right, yeah.
Past the
But
house.
just move over a little bit every time you pull in, so you're not driving on the same path.
Okay.
You're gonna create ruts if you just keep doing it.
That's
That's how you make a
basically
dirt
what it
road.
is, yeah.
So, all right, so 326, 48, or $25?
Yes.
Okay. Call when you get things done.
Okay.
You're one of these multiple people. If you've got 2 out of the 3 done and you need a little bit more time, I'm far more, amiable to that rather than you've got nothing done and you need more time.
Okay.
Okay, so if you get the pressure cleaning done and the AC permit going through and you're worried about the sod or grass seeding, then you may get a little bit more of a break from me. Okay?
All right.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so anyone else have children? Going once? All right, that's your ticket to the front. All right, let's get back to our regular program.
Back to fine assessment hearings on page 2, case 19-1307, 600 Business Parkway, AP 2012 Royal Manor LLC.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order granting continuous and setting status/fine assessment hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. Exhibit 4, AS 400 permit information.
Okay. All right, you have a signed green card, you have service, you can show documents.
Grace Ashiel.
Thank you.
Christopher Witten,
And your relation?
the contractor for the home.
All right, Lisa, spell your last name, and Christopher, spell your last name. Ladies first.
Last name?
Achille.
Okay, and Christopher,
WHITTEN.
thank you.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is your previous order granting continuance with the signed green card. 2 of the order. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation.
Thank you, by the way.
Photograph of the violation. permit information. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. Let's see, did some truck run into that or something?
Yes.
I still have some short-term memory left. All right, so I think I've heard this case before. It's a deja vu thing. What do we
Yeah.
have that's new, or do we have anything else?
They did get the permit, parking, striping permit, and got that taken care of. And from what I'm aware, they've hired a new contractor to pull the permit for the repair. But it's a little bit more extensive than just stucco work.
Okay. So they fixed something? You're telling me they striped the parking lot?
They striped the parking lot,
Good,
yes.
that's what I like, progress. So we have more than just promises. All right, Mr. Wood, what's going on with the structure and what's going on with the not permitting it yet?
I think we,
Absolutely, Doug. So I've hired a structural engineer to do a repair design for the overhang, just to check and make sure that we're going to be able to fix it. Like I was telling Grace, is that I'm anticipating the design sometime this week, and then from there, we'll submit it to the building department for a building permit. I'm anticipating 2 to 3 weeks for the review of the building department and probably 2 weeks for construction from start to finish. So I'd say somewhere in between 30 to 40 days from today.
To the start of construction or to
To the
completion?
completion.
Yeah, from
He said if he gets the engineering done, it'll probably take as long to get the permit as it does to do the project.
yeah, absolutely. That'd be correct.
That's what I was thinking. So are we running too close on the 326, or, because they have at least done the striping in the lot, and that was not their fault for the boom on their drive-through.
right.
So is that 326, is that enough time? Probably not. It's 2:12 right now?
Yeah, that's not quite.
That's gonna be really pushing it to get it done, if you want to see it done.
326?
This is 2:12, 326 is 6 weeks. He's still got to get 2 weeks of structural,
To be in compliance, or does it?
No, its building is in disrepair.
so he's got to
It's gotta
repair the
fix the
building.
Mm.
So it's just not a permit issue, and,
Because right now, Doug, my hands are being tied.
well, no, you need an engineer to
Correct.
sign off on it. So that's 246 right there, 6 weeks with perfection. And I don't see perfection in this world very often, so maybe we ought to bump that to 4 something.
I think the first week of April will be more than enough.
Yeah, first week of April.
Well, do you want to do 4348? I did that on the last one.
Give you enough time to get out there.
Because things should be going. You should be seeing permits coming through if you, or at least permits submitted.
Yeah,
You get
and the
the
issue, I mean,
engineering.
the issue that the village has is that this got cited back in August, and the first contractor ran away.
I know, but
So we-
it's not her fault that they ran away, and they did get the parking lot striped.
I lost the money, we
Yeah,
ran out of business. So I
Right.
had to go back to
Right.
get bids and get 3 company.
so I'm not gonna punish them for being ripped off,
So 4.3 or 4.8 or $25 a day, fine.
okay? That work? All right, 4.3, 4.8, 25, granted,
Thank you.
get it permitted.
So,
Get it done.
so you waiving the fine or?
We have no fine yet. I have not set you up for a fine yet. If you don't have things done by the 4.8 hearing, then we might have an
Should be
issue.
okay.
But hopefully, it'll be done or not, or close to
So the
done by then.
striping is already done.
Right, and that's why you got that's why you get the extra time, because you've already complied with one thing that's, was a problem, okay?
Thank
Alright.
you.
Thank you. Next,
Okay.
please.
Next, same page, 19-1515, 243 Sandpiper Avenue, Christopher and Brittany Sands.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, you have service via posting. You can proceed.
Christopher Sands.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the order finding violation, because the mailing got returned.
ma'am.
Previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photographs, violation. objection to these documents?
Can I see them one more time? Can I enter into the evidence something I have?
Yep, we'll get there. Any objection to these documents?
No.
All right, admitted without objection.
Okay.
All right, so where's the fence have issues? Mainly by the other fence?
Yeah, down along the side back there, it still seems to be leaning inward pretty badly.
Okay.
They did repair the other side, but not this side as of yet.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sands, what do you have for us? You said you have some pictures or something?
Well, yeah, I just had pictures of the other side, which is the side that I thought was the issue. I repaired that immediately, and then I learned later on that I was still in violation. I did my best efforts to clean up what I thought was wrong with it. Apparently, it wasn't sufficient, and I plan on fixing it appropriately as soon as possible.
Okay.
The writing was slightly ambiguous and vague. I didn't know exactly which side it was that there was an issue with. I didn't find fault in really either side. I didn't think it was leaning too terribly. I do understand that the code says it cannot be leaning, but leaning is an objective finding, and I didn't find it that way, so I fixed it regardless. I just didn't fix the other side because I didn't see it as badly as she did, so
Okay. Were you here at a prior hearing?
I was
No,
not.
he wasn't.
So you didn't get my speech about calling. You didn't call.
I didn't know how it works. I do now.
Well, it's in bold on your order that you got,
Understood.
so. And
My wife was handling it up until now, and I've taken over, but no excuse. I understand.
At the village, unfortunately, we're again at a fine assessment hearing, so the time to figure out what exactly or question the violations would have been at the previous hearing. I'm asking for a fine to start running. It's been out of compliance for 13 days.
Yeah,
So that'd be a
see-
$325 a day fine and continuing.
See, the time to get extra time would have been at the first hearing.
Understood.
And then, if you would have fixed it as quickly as you said, and if you would have called for your inspection, they would have said, that's great, but over there too, perpendicular is 90 degrees. It's
And,
not a subjective standard,
Yeah, but 90 degrees, if you, I don't want to argue. But
I-
any fence can be considered out of a degree or two from 90 degrees, and that therefore be in violation.
It could be, and it's,
could be. So I was unaware of the strictness of it. I am now. If you are gracious enough to waive a fine, I can fix it within a day.
I did speak to Mrs. Sands prior to compliance date as well. She spoke to Linda in reference to it also. And at that time, I also seen a play structure was there, which they have removed that. But we did tell her that the fence still needed repaired.
Okay, so you told her before the violation date that the fence still needed to be repaired?
And I made repairs at that time, what I thought was sufficient.
Before the,
That's why I wanted to enter in what I have, which shows it leaning less than what her pictures show.
You want to introduce the photos into the
I would like
record?
to, if you
That's
allow
fine.
me to.
Sure.
Pull them out, that's fine.
You can keep those. North side, south side. You want just the south side? That's the south side.
You're going to keep that one in?
If the north side isn't involved in any of this, then it doesn't need to be entered.
This is the side you repaired.
This is well, I repaired the entire fence, but this is the area that is still an issue right here. You can see a slight lean.
Spot, correct?
It's about 3 degrees, 4 degrees maybe.
Okay.
All right, we'll look, maybe it's a better angle, who knows? All right, admitted without objection. Okay. Well, at least it's a brighter, sunnier day. Here, have you seen this code officer?
no, I have not.
All right, so he did fix the one side?
You did.
I can get it as straight as an arrow. Just give me a day.
Okay. What Days today, today's 12, 15, 16,
Where it's
17,
falling in.
18.
I just don't know. Different angle.
Our preference would be that the fines start running and then he come back. Because again, had he been at the violation hearing,
I know,
could have gone over all the details about exactly what had to be fixed. That's the time to have that. And between now and the hearing, he called again today, which is the day of the hearing, with no time for anything to be addressed.
yeah, I hate to throw your wife under the bus, but I might have to. Because then we're gonna get to a fine reduction hearing, and then you're gonna say it's $400 and that's our costs. And there's gonna be almost no way for me to reduce it. That's, I get stuck in that loop there.
Right, but
I understand. You're
If I-
at the
if I may-
fine assessment hearing, and it's a fine assessment, and he could have called, and it would have been straightened out if he would have showed up.
If I may, this is the first time I've ever had any issues. I've lived there for 6 years. I haven't had any problems. If you guys just grant me the opportunity to get this done, I understand that I was not within the right. I should have been to the first meeting. I was unaware. I know it's not an excuse, but that's what I got. I'll get it fixed.
All right, well, you get it fixed by Friday, and if he doesn't have it fixed by Friday, I'll start the fines back from whatever the compliance date is.
the Friday's date is 2/14.
You're doing Valentine's fence repair. I'm
Yes,
trying to
instead-
save you.
Instead of
from-
going to dinner, we're fixing the fence.
Well, you can blame your wife for that one. Say she gonna send that money to the code people here in Royal Palm for, not paying a lot of
I
attention
don't think
to
it'll
it.
be too difficult. It's not that bad.
What's the margin?
All right, so 214, or the fines, or a $325 a day, or $325
But he'll need to appear at the
plus
March hearing.
continuing,
You want him to appear at the March hearing?
yeah,
March 11th.
or 311. Or the 325 runs from the date of the original fine, if he doesn't do it by the 14th.
You want me to appear at the March hearing regardless of,
If you can get the code enforcement officer out there and she gives you an affidavit of compliance, probably won't have to.
okay,
But you gotta get that straightened out with her,
understood.
okay? Someone's losing some rubber.
I don't know.
All right, 214, 311, or a fine's fine, so granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope it's not gonna rain in the next day or two.
What was that?
I said, hope it doesn't rain in the next day or two, so.
I'll be out there in the rain then.
You will be. All right, next, please.
Thank you. Next, we're going to repeat violations, top of page 4, case 20-0070, 9919 Pioneer Road, Pioneer Estates by Luxcom LLC.
Code Section 2041, prohibited flags and signs. It's a repeat violation. I observed this violation on 1/17/20, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 1/21/20, and I received it on 1/27/20. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, so. All right, you have USPS tracking confirmed, so you do have service. You can proceed.
David Millage.
In your relation,
I'm representing the property owner.
Can you spell your last name, sir?
Milledge.
these are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, and proof of delivery. For the previous order finding violation. Next exhibit is a verification of ownership. This is photographs of the violations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the final exhibit is the affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
Do you know whether or not this sign is within the municipality? Or is that the county right away?
So I guess state your objection to this photograph, and then
Okay.
we can get there. He's objecting to this photograph that has a temporary sign.
I would just object to any photographs that depict signs or flags within the Palm Beach County right away.
All right. Admitted over objection. So is it your position that because there's a county road going through a municipality and its municipal boundaries, that that is exempt from the village sign code?
My stance would be any signs or flags on county right-of-ways would be subject to the county uniform development regulations. However, I will state that the property owner has complied with the request. They did remove the signs and flags pursuant to the notification on February 6th. I did receive confirmation from the property owner at 9:17 a.m. that the signs and snipe flags were removed.
Okay.
And also, to further my statement, they are planning to coordinate a meeting with the village to discuss the proper display of signs and flags. In addition, they are looking to coordinate with the county as well.
Okay. Is there anything further from the village?
The only thing we'll respond that that photo is planted nearly in line with the trees that are on the property, so it would,
Let me see.
here's an additional photo.
All right, Pioneer Road, is this a state road? Is this a county road?
From my understanding, it's a county road.
And how have you proved that?
I guess it would be proved through the property appraiser's office or through the county itself. But again, Your Honor, we remove the signs.
Well, I understand you removed the signs, and I understand someone from your marketing department or someone director showed up at the original hearing, and they probably received enough time to get it out, and they knew it was not supposed to be put back. And that's why you have a repeat violation.
Understood. And I can't speak for the property owner. I'm just here
Yeah.
today to, pretty much state that they are in compliance. They have corrected the violation.
Right, well, understood, because there's an affidavit of compliance in the file. What's the amount of the fine?
I was out of compliance for 25 days, so the fine is $1,250.
In my other areas of practice, I'm an eminent domain lawyer, so I do, condemnation cases for county roads, state roads, federal highways, things of that nature. Your jurisdictional argument's not going to cut it. So, 1,250, no continuing is granted. Tell them not to do it again. You're going to have a meeting with the county, that's wonderful, but it's not going to get you much.
Okay,
You
understood.
can try to talk to the village, but that may require some sort of change to their sign code.
I believe it be site plan amendment, based off my understanding of the code.
Well, whatever it is, you can talk to them, so, granted.
Thank you.
Next.
Violation hearings again, 19-1729, 114 Valencia Street. Eric Fernandez and Edgar Campos.
Gail McLean, Code Enforcement for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. Code section is 6190A and 144A. Drive and sidewalk are stained, screen enclosure missing screens, and disabled unregistered vehicle. I observed this violation on 12/3/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted it on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. All right, you have an affidavit of service, so you have service. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Eric Fernandez.
Eric Fernandez.
Yeah.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing. The notice of hearing, notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photographs of the violations.
Yeah.
Any objection to these documents, sir?
No.
All right, admitted without objection.
Just, excuse me? Something about the fence?
No, the fence is horrible, but they didn't cite you for it.
No, it's not the fence. It's just the front of the house.
Okay, so I guess the biggest, hardest is a disabled unregistered vehicle. Yeah, if he puts it in his garage, is it okay?
He has actually removed the vehicle,
Okay, so that's
We
one
did
down.
everything.
but the screens aren't done. I spoke to your wife today.
Oh, yeah, but you're talking about the back,
Yeah, any
the rear.
screen, yeah, any screen
screen.
enclosure that you have, it has to have the screens in it.
That's this photo, sir. If it can get on the screen. This is showing your screen enclosure behind that fence, and it's showing the missing screen.
Yeah, in the warning, she said that the enclosure and the front enclosure, the
No,
panel.
screen enclosure.
It's a screen enclosure. You have to
The
put
one on the front
screens
is
in
a
your
screen
screen.
enclosure, and the one on the back is a screen enclosure. I didn't specify.
Oh, you don't specify.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't specify that.
All right, so let's get to where we are. Disabled unregistered vehicle is a finding of fact.
The
Is that
vehicle
right?
is a finding of fact.
Got it. So he fixed one thing.
I fix everything.
No, well, the driveway and sidewalk are stained. Is
No,
that?
they're done.
They're done, so that's a
Yeah,
finding
it's
of
just
fact
the
as
screen
well?
enclosures.
Just the screen enclosure? All right, and we don't have the screen enclosure fixed in the back, is that
No.
correct? There's screens missing.
Yes.
Okay. So you have,
I'm sorry, we're asking for compliance by 326 or the 4/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
okay,
But
there's.
she never specify which one.
You never called me either until today.
So you've come here and now you know, and now you have until March 26th to fix it. And you will have no problems if you fix it before March 26th and call to have an inspection.
Yeah, because I fixed the front one. I didn't.
Yeah, so it's not a big
Okay.
deal. You have a month and a half to fix it.
Okay.
Make sure you call. She'll just drive by, make sure, can you see this from the street?
Yes.
She'll make sure that there's screens there. You get an affidavit of compliance, you'll be done.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, the car's the hardest thing. You fix
I
that.
junked the car.
Yeah, so 326, 4825 is granted. Just fix it and give her a call.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
you'll
you.
be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Next is 19-1774, 105 Santiago Street. Abelardo Z. and Elvira S. Ventura.
The code section is 6190A. Drive and sidewalk and structure are stained. I observed this violation on 12/12/19 and got 12/12/19 and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
Is that the neighbor's clean sidewalk on the one side?
Yes.
I thought so. Kind of makes it look worse. All right, signed green card equals service.
Jasmine Velez.
And your relation?
I'm the property manager they hired.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation, the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So the owners are elderly people that are in and out of the hospital. When they received the violation, or I told them about the violation, I've been trying to get them to renovate the property on the exterior regardless if they received the violation or not. They did have a water poly line bust in the house, so they lost tenant income. We had to vacate or ask the tenants to break the lease, got them into a new place, and we had to go through the insurance adjusters, so the water line was shut off for a very long time. It's still off today. However, we thought this would get resolved before today. However, everything, the plumbing has been fixed, the new kitchen has been in, the Home Depot did all the work, they even did the plumbing along with Buckeye Plumbing. And I have here for evidence if you want, 129, it was completed, the plumbing. However, we couldn't verify. They keep emailing me to sign off on the plumbing work, which I won't do until we turn on water.
Well,
When I call-
we're not even here on that. We're just,
When I call Palm Beach County, yeah, we're here for the pressure cleaning. There's no water on the property. There hasn't been water because we had water pipes bust inside the house.
okay.
Most of the guys now have those trucks that have the water tanks on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like impossible to hire someone who has a 300 or 400 gallon tank in the back of his trailer and his 13 horse Honda, 3,000 PSI compressor out there
Okay,
to do
that's
this.
fine. However, you also wanted the property to be painted, which we were getting bids regardless of that, which we have. They signed off on a contractor, and it's a lot of money. And the contractor sent me an email with how long it would take them to complete the job.
Okay, well,
We've been
that's,
working on this for many, many months, way before the,
Understood, but-
before the violation, and we did call the code enforcer and explain the situation with
Got
the
it.
water.
but you're gonna have probably until, what's this, we still got
3/26
3/26, you got another
$25 day
6 weeks to get this done.
Okay, he gave me, he said 6.5 weeks, so that should be fine. I'll push him.
6/26, 4/8/25. That's what everyone's getting here. You should be able to get this done in that amount of time.
Yeah, I thought 6 weeks was a long time anyway, so I'll ask.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you. You got an order in the mail. Next.
19-1787, 2475 Westmont Lane, Raymond and Sharon McGann and Marie Heslop, or Mary.
Mary?
Code section is 6190A, structure stained and may need to be painted. I observed this violation on 12/13/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed but not dated. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
I'm like looking at the first picture and saying, that's a beautiful beige paint job, but I think you're looking at the house next door. Is that right? The white one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. All right, you have an you actually have a signed green card, so you have service. You can proceed.
Sharon McGann.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing. And then there's the violation, as well as the signed green card.
Where's my? It said roof. The notice that I got said roof.
Okay, this is the notice that was sent, but we can get there after we get through these documents. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership from property appraiser. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to the documents?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, admitted without objection. All right. So, this appears to be a lot of staining on the side of the house, and the front of the house just looks like it could use a little TLC.
It's going to have to be painted.
Well,
Sure.
they can clean it up and see if they can get there, but I have a feeling you're probably going to be right. Ms. McGann, what's up?
Yes, I'm in chapter 13, 5-year. I'm almost done. I'm waiting for it to be solved. All the income is going straight to chapter 13. All the income.
All right, do you not live here? Is this some sort
I
of rental?
do.
Okay.
It's almost done. And I told her that too.
Now, the only question I have is bankruptcy stop a code enforcement case?
Excuse me?
The liens, but this
So it would not,
is just a violation order.
this is just a violation order?
It was initiated on 10/25, and she explained the circumstances to me, and I gave her 30 days at that point before I wrote the case, and then I told her I was going to have to write the case, and it would be going to this hearing, that I couldn't just continue the case on and on.
Yeah, well, they're not going to continue it on forever, so The liens may or may not be validated. I don't know about that. I'm not a bankruptcy guy.
Right, and we would need that paperwork to make that determination, to confirm dates and,
Yeah, but as for the violation order, sure, you can try to get them to fix it. Is it going to be at 326 again?
or 48 or $25 a day fine, yes, sir.
All right, so you have a problem, they have an issue, and I really can't stop either of you. Hopefully you know someone with a pressure cleaner that may be able to help you out. But you need to try to fix this by March 26th. You're going to come back here on April
Not a
8th, and I
problem.
have no idea what the bankruptcy ramifications are. Talk to your bankruptcy counsel.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
All right, next, please.
19-1788, 423 Las Palmas Street, Willa M. Bernard.
Code section is 6190A, drive and sidewalk are stained. I observed this violation on 12/13/19, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and have actual service. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
Okay. All right, actual service it is. You can proceed.
Willa Bernard.
Thanks, ma'am. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of hearing, a notice of violation, and the returned documentation. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So they say you need to clean your driveway and sidewalk.
Yes, and I explained to them that I lost my job and I'm in the process of finding a job. I'm not ignoring the violation. And as soon as I can get a job and bring in income, then I'll get my driveway and sidewalk completed.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I can't just say we're going to stop the whole process until you find a job. They've gone through the...
I understand that, but I was trying to ask for time at least.
All right, well, she's asking for additional time due to lack of employment. What is your position?
We're asking for compliance by 3/26. It's a month and a half. I mean, I guess our issue is that it's the price to do it doesn't change if more time is granted. A month and a half.
But it's not like I'm not trying. And I've called and told you guys that I'm not ignoring it. I just don't have it.
I did actually cite her for her hedges and her high grass, and she took care of those
Because
two
she could.
issues, so I'm not opposed to giving her more time.
Okay, let's give her another month or so.
Next month's hearing.
Yeah, go 4 something and 5. What's the 5 hearing?
5/13, so 4/30 or 5/13.
Yeah, let's give her a little bit more. What's 7 days before that? See, I'm just trying to give her enough time to find a job.
5/6.
5/6. All right, May 6th, that gives you an extra month on top of the 6 weeks, so you're about 2.5 months out. And hopefully, you either do that or see if you can find a friend with a pressure cleaner and take care of it that way.
Okay.
I'm on my 3rd pressure cleaner. I've blown up 2.
Does it have to be painted as well?
No, it
No.
just has to be cleaned, so we just have to get Florida, the rainy season makes it dark and moldy. That's just part of life here, and you just have to clean them occasionally, so this is the clean it occasionally part. All right, 5/6, 5/13/25, you get an order in the mail, and hopefully you'll be able to fix it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. And thank you for fixing the other problems.
Next is bottom of page 5, 19-1539-10116 Mikado Lane, Brian and Leah Boyk or Boak. Boyke, sorry.
The code section is 14.4A and 9.4. The description is disabled vehicle, no tag, and fence in disrepair. This violation was observed on 10/24/2019. It was sent certified mail on 10/25/2019 and posted. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. and exhibit 3 pictures.
Okay. We've got to get you a zoom lens. All right, you have service via posting. You can proceed. Your name, sir?
Brian Boyke, sir.
Good. You ought to see what they do to Matt Gibbon.
I'm sorry?
They mangle Matt Gibbon too, so.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and the notice of hearing, the return mailing, notice of hearing.
Was I not here? Is that why it was returned, or?
Return to sender, who knows?
Okay.
It says unable to forward. Have you ever mail forwarded? I don't know.
I shouldn't.
Notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership.
Yep.
Exhibit 3, photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents, sir?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a car and we have a fence, and the car.
It works. I just haven't had the chance to put it on my insurance. When everything had happened originally, I was actually in the fire academy, so I didn't really have the time to go and do that. That was numero priority. The fence was fixed when I spoke with the code enforcement officer. She did tell me to call her. Problem is, I forgot where her card went, so that was my fault.
It's okay. You're still not at the fine stage, so.
I do have pictures of the fence. It's on my phone that I.
They'll come by and look when you call. They'll rather look and see.
I just have to get the insurance put on the car so I can get it
You're
registered.
gonna have until
That's it.
March 26th to do so.
Yes, sir. One correction for your agenda. The 2 that's on there, 14A 2.
The
Please
2's
remove the 2.
Okay, just 14A.
Yes, sir.
14-4A.
14-4A. Yes.
All
we are
right, so
asking
you
for
have until
compliance.
March 26th to do this. So just give them a call once you get the tag on there, and they can do it all. Or you can come by and look at the fence and then call them for the tag too. You can do it however you want to.
I spoke with the code enforcement officer today, so.
Okay, so
I
they're gonna
understand.
check your fence out, and then you're gonna get the car fixed.
Yes, sir. Well, the car's fine. It's just.
Oh, no, it's car, by fixed, I mean tagged.
It has to be registered.
Tagged and titled.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, 326-4825 granted. Just get it done and call them.
Roger that, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next.
19-169811848 Balsam Drive, Janet E. Riblett Trust.
The code section is 2657 and 91, description shed and fence installed without permits. This violation was observed on 11/2019, and it was mailed, certified mail on 11/2019, and signed for on 11/23/2019. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have a signed green card, you have service, and you can point out in the picture where these things are. Kind of hard to see. Okay. Your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Annette Fitzgerald. I'm Janet Riblett's daughter and her power of attorney.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of hearing, notice of violation, green card.
Right.
Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation. Do you have any objections to these documents?
Well, I've never seen him before. Was this for the sidewalk?
No, this is all fence and shed.
That's
Neighbor's fence. But we have a chain link fence.
Ms. Walker, can we get an explanation on what this is showing?
This is Dina's case.
Okay, so,
Shed and fence. So there's a shed right there.
Yeah, there's a shed in the back of the property.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, it's
Now-
actually behind the house.
Right.
And I think it was the fence along the side.
That's the neighbor, but we have a chain link, and our violation was to fix the chain link fence. And then actually, the fence and the shed were already there when my parents bought the
Right.
home. So we got a violation to have them fixed, which we're still waiting for the permits, but we also have been working on them. And the fence is up properly. The shed has been moved forward, but we're waiting.
You need a permit for both of the items.
Right,
It
we're-
wasn't that it was in disrepair, it's that it needed a permit.
Right, well, we have that going in, and I had to come, I'm from Fort Myers, and I live in Fort Myers. But we had filed the paperwork for the permits, and I guess I missed writing something on the permit that said 20 feet. So they couldn't submit it until I got here to draw the line. And then today I came up and drew the line, and now it's in process again.
all right, well, you're gonna have until the end
Hold
of
on, let's
March
get the
like everyone else,
documents
so it's
This
all
is showing,
good.
is that your shed there, behind the fence?
I can't even tell, yes, it is, but
So
that's the shed,
Okay, so that's the picture, it's showing the
right?
shed.
And that's the permit we're working on,
Okay.
that's,
All right, so they're in
Objection
submittal.
to these documents?
no,
Okay.
those are mine, my handwriting, yeah.
Okay, so if they've submitted, they should get it out way before March 26th, correct?
It went back in the review basket, and yes, it should be.
All right, so,
Yeah, I believe I spoke to Robert Hill today,
yeah,
and
326.
he mentioned something about go ahead and getting it inspected, once it was, whatever needed to be done right away.
Yeah, it just, you need to cite it on paper so they can say it's not in a setback, and and you've probably done that because you're in plan review now, so.
Correct.
So you're gonna have until the March 26th date
Okay.
to be done with, and get your permit?
We're just waiting on the permits to get the inspection set up.
Yeah, that's fine. You should be fine.
I also just want to inform the code enforcement that the shed is going to be painted, because it does need to be painted.
That doesn't
So
matter.
we're gonna-
It's a question of where, not the
Yeah, well,
condition right now.
it's
so.
got to be 20 feet from the rear and all that, and that's,
That's fine.
it's
You
all
just have-
good.
You just have to meet setbacks, and as long as you have the space for it on
Okay.
your
Yeah,
property
we
that meets the
actually do.
setbacks, you're fine.
yeah,
You
we're
just have to
ready.
cite it on a paper so that the building department can confirm that.
We also have another case about the propane tank.
Oh, okay.
It's,
That'll be heard soon.
Well, we
It's,
can do
it's
it.
the mitigations, so those go at the end of the
Okay.
thing.
Okay, you're a fine mitigation, you're at the end. Go sit down, you come back.
oh, okay.
Okay, we'll knock them out in parts. All right, 326, 4825 on 19-1698.
Thank you. 19-1775, 128 Block Olive Crescent, David M. and Tracy E. Lockey.
The code section is 6190A1. The description is roof and disrepair. This violation was observed on 12/12/2019. It was sent certified mail on 12/13/2019, and it was signed for on 12/16/2019. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures. Or a picture.
I'll teach you people about contrast here someday. This is like darkness. All right, signed green card equals service.
David Lockey.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing, green card. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so do we have a roof issue, I take it?
Yes, sir. We're actually in a lawsuit with our insurance company. We've been in a lawsuit since August of 2018. So right now, because of having that, I have a letter from my attorney that's representing, just stating that when being in the lawsuit, that we have to do mitigation, and which is what the TARP is, and that's where we're at with that. We're just in a lawsuit at this time.
So 2018,
Yes, sir.
no one set it for trial?
We just finished up, they just did depositions on the professional has looked at the roof. They just did that last week.
Yeah, I love insurance companies. They're great until they get right to trial and then they actually decide to do things.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people don't like sending cases for trial. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, what would the village like? Because they don't have to sit here and wait forever for this trial to happen. You know, mitigation could also be fixing the roof. You can't
Right.
sit there with a tarp forever.
Right,
I
so-
do have a letter here from the attorney if you'd like.
I understand, and I understand what he's saying, but really, that's not a legal excuse for you not to do anything. It's a reason,
Or
but
we
it's
can't
not a
afford- we
legal.
can't afford to replace the roof, sir.
Well, you may end up in the fine mitigation hearings someday down the road, because, all right. What would you like, village?
We were originally asking for the 326 dates. We can set it 90 days
Okay,
out.
give me
but
some dates.
Again, the village, this is a common problem. And
I understand,
The village
that's
can't
why-
wait, especially if litigation is 2 years old already.
I know, that's why I'm asking about trial orders. 2 years old, I would have had this well on the way to trial.
So that would be the May hearing.
5, 5, 5, okay, what?
Compliance by 5/6 or 5/13. Or $25 a day fine.
Okay. So you're gonna get an order that says you have to fix it by May 6th, or you'll be here at the May 13th hearing. And, you know, being in litigation, I understand your practical problem, and I understand your monetary problem, but you ought to tell your attorney, ask your attorney if this thing's set for trial, and if this isn't, you ought to tell them to do it. Because these people don't like moving until they have a gun to their head. And trial orders nowadays are coming out 8 or 9 months in the future, if not a year. So he'll have more than enough time to prep his case. Okay?
We would ask your order to stay status/fine.
Status/fine is granted.
So whatever you find out from your attorney, make sure that you bring back at the next hearing or communicate that to Dina, so that Dina has that.
Right, because, you know, unfortunately, the village still has to keep its code going, even though there are practical problems.
Yeah.
All
So,
5/6, 5/13/25 is a status/fine assessment hearing, granted.
Thank you. 19-1782, 775 Carissa Drive, Veronica S. Whitaker.
the code section is 6190H. The description is storm shutters are up. This violation was observed on 12/12/2019. It was sent certified mail on 12/13/2019, and then posted on January 21st, 2020. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures. We actually did get the mail back unclaimed. It wasn't with it.
Okay, you have a affidavit of service, so you have service. Please state your name for the record.
Veronica Whitaker.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1. This should be with this. Affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing. Notice of hearing. Notice of violation for unreturned mail. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is a photograph, photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Okay. Why are the shutters still up?
Well, it's just those windows, and there's a very good reason for that, reason for us. The home that's on Oleander that faces those windows has floodlights or spotlights that shine directly into our rooms. And the dogs bark all night long, and they keep us up all night long. So we put the storm shutters up for the storm and kept the light away, so we took the storm shutters off from the rest of the house and decided to leave them there so that we could get some sleep, because the lights are just flashing all night long.
All right, it sounds like a nuisance suit against your neighbor, but that doesn't excuse your violation of the code of
I
Royal
understand.
Palm Beach. I mean,
I
it's a
understand.
fire thing, so you're trapped on that side of the house, your house is on fire, your shutters are up, and you die.
I understand.
So figure out another solution other than the shutters. Shutters need to come down.
Okay.
Okay, 326?
No, sir, this is compliance by 227. Or the
227?
311 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
They're saying get them down fast, too. So 227, you only have 2 weeks. Okay. I'll sign that order, granted.
Thank you. Moving now. Page 8, 19-1808, 156 Sunflower Circle, Diana M. Gomez.
Code sections 14.2, debris on the side of the home. I observed this violation on 12/24/19. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 12/24/19, and personally served it to the owner. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS4 under permit information. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
I knew you were going to get to that eventually. Is this a finding of fact? Eventually?
Yes.
All right, so I don't get to take it that seriously because you already fixed it, so it's all good. But they're going to show you papers anyway.
Diana Gomez.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the violation and notice of hearing. The undeliverable mailing, the notice of hearing, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photographs of violation. And Exhibit 4 is affidavit of compliance. Any objection to the documents?
No.
Thank you.
Finding of facts granted.
Thank you.
Bye. You fixed it, you're done. All right, next,
Now we're moving to
mitigation hearings.
fine mitigations, top of 9.
Top of 9?
16, yes,
Oh,
sir.
okay.
16-2201, 11977 Southern Boulevard, Crestwood Square Limited, or excuse me, LTD.
Got it.
Good evening, Jeffrey Sarro for Crestwood Square LTD.
I'm sorry, your name again, sir?
Jeffrey Sarro.
Sarro, S-A-R-R-O-W.
Okay. And this is the portion of our program where things flip.
Yes, sir.
What is the amount of the fine, though?
The amount of the fine is $53,400.
Ah,
And your counsel for,
Crestwood Square LTD, the owner of the shopping center.
are you an attorney?
Yes.
Oh, thank
he
you.
is. I've had something against you somewhere. Do this
I
long
was here
enough.
last month.
Yeah, I've been doing this in this county 30 years. I kind of figured I'm.
We would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. And Exhibit 3 would be the verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. What business was this?
A bunch.
A bunch? Okay. A plethora. All right.
Plethora.
Gotta use my big words here. All right, Mr. Sarro, the question of the day, why should the fines be reduced?
There are a number of reasons. These are non-compliant tenants who have failed to comply with their leases, and as a result, also, they failed to comply with the city code with respect to permitting. So with respect to the permitting issues, this is a 2016 case. As soon as we were advised, as soon as the landlord was advised of the violations, the landlord sent specific notices to each of the offending tenants, advising them of the violations. There were actually 2 sets of violations, one with respect to the signage coverage, and the second issue was with respect to permitting. We were under the impression that the permitting issues had been resolved, and of course, nothing had happened in 2017, 2018. And then in 2019, we happened to learn that in fact, the permitting issues for these particular tenants had not been resolved. So we were the ones that asked for the fine mitigation hearing. And now, when we learned that they weren't resolved in November of 2019, once again, we immediately sent notices to the tenants, and this apparently worked because I believe that all of these offending tenants are now in compliance. So under these circumstances, we think that the fine should be substantially mitigated. Pursuant to the provisions of these various leases, these small business owners, although they are in violation, but they're the ones that are going to be eating the fines. This would come out to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per small business tenant. We believe that substantial grounds exist to mitigate the fines. Now, I would also point out that with respect to the signage issue, the village did agree that a fine mitigation would be appropriate, and that was with respect to case number 16, 1866, and 1868. We were here last month, and the fine was reduced from $17,000 and change to $4,500. We believe that it would be appropriate to have a similar reduction in the neighborhood of 20%.
All right, so
To 20%.
to 20%, that'd be about 10.
So that would be, between $10,000 and $12,000.
All right, what's the village's position?
We would be amenable to reducing it to 12,000.
Gotcha, sold. How much or how long?
60 days would be, from today would be, April 13th, so that it's a weekday.
That would be fine.
April what?
413?
13.
All right, 12,000 by 413 granted.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Next is 19-0005, 11848 Balsam Drive, Janet E. Riblett Trust, and Janet E. Riblett Trust title holder.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, the affidavit of compliance.
Okay. What's the amount of this one?
$3,675.
All right, why should the fine be reduced?
If we could get names for the record, I'm sorry.
We already, we had them on a prior case, but that's okay.
Name again, please, ma'am.
Annette Fitzgerald.
Thank you, just so the record is clear.
Okay. Daughter and POA holder. Got it. All right, why should the fine be reduced?
Well, when it all began, Florida Public Utilities sent a subcontractor to the home and said they were there to replace an old tank with a new tank. So my sister lives there and she takes care of my mother. And when Florida Public Utility came in and said, we have to switch out your tank, she thought she knew what they were doing. They were going to switch the tank out. Well, what they did was they switched the tank out and they moved it and put it on the property line. So that's when the code enforcement came and they seen this tank. So I got in touch with Florida Public Utility, and that's when we got the violation, and my sister informed me that this is what was happening. So I took it upon myself as my mother's power of attorney to call Florida Public Utility, and I had to conversation several times with them that why did they go ahead and move a tank and replace a tank without informing somebody ahead of time. or the company notifying us that we just had a guy come up and knock on the door. And he did it without pulling a permit. So when I found out what had happened, I got on the phone and I called Public Utilities and I talked to the supervisor several times and I said, why did you have a subcontractor go to my mother's home and move a tank and never pulled a permit? Now there's a violation on my mother's home and you're gonna cause a lien on her house. So I went around and around and around and it's been maybe almost a year. And finally, they took it upon themselves because I had told them I would have to take other steps forward to handle this and that I would like them to do what was supposed to be done properly. So they put a stop on everything. They finally pulled the permit. The tank has been buried. It's past inspection. And I don't feel that my mother should be responsible for the fine on the home due to a company not doing something properly.
All right. And what's the village's?
We'll leave this one to your discretion, but we would be amenable to a reduction. Our number was $1,098.75.
She doesn't, my mother doesn't have that kind of money.
Well, unfortunately, you're supposed to be in charge of these people, but I'm going to reduce it down to $250. Okay?
That would be
By
fine.
whatever.
Thank
What's
you.
the date?
413.
By 4/13. All right. Who do we have left in here?
So you'll get both the orders.
You'll get the orders in the mail.
I'm sorry?
You'll get an order in the mail.
Okay, alrighty.
But can you explain to her that what happens if it doesn't get paid by the date?
If it doesn't get paid, it goes way back up to the
No, I'll make sure it gets
$3,675. You'll
paid
make
right
sure it's
away.
get paid.
But do I just pay out here or do I get a
You
letter?
come see me,
Okay,
or you
Okay.
can, you can
Or
even mail it in.
You can
It's
mail
up
it
to
in,
you.
whatever you want to do.
right. Well, I have to leave in the morning early.
Well,
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
get, you can't even do it till next week after he signs
I have to sign the
order. Okay.
orders, and I don't sign them until Monday or
Okay.
Tuesday. So,
I believe you have my address as 152 Sun Circle, Fort Myers, Florida.
Whatever's on the
Yeah.
property appraiser,
Yeah, because I pretty much take care of all her
Yeah,
stuff.
it is to your house in
Okay.
Fort Myers.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
all right, the last three hearings, are they what?
We got
So
them
we
there.
got fine mitigations,
They need to be sworn in.
and everybody else needs to be sworn in here.
Actually, I've got to take like 2 minutes. I've been here for 2.5 hours and drank a whole bottle of water, and I thought I was going to get through all this, but I can't. So excuse me for 2 minutes. We'll have a short recess. Sorry. All right, everyone's got their right hand up. Everyone's gonna tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say I do. They do. Okay, they've all been sworn back. All right, where are we now?
Thank you. We're on page 8, fine mitigation hearing still.
No,
Oh,
repeat violation.
okay.
Okay.
Page 3, second one from the bottom, 19-3080.
Hold on one second, I've gotta do two things here. Do that and figure out what my numbering system is. 15. Okay.
Case 19-3080, 765 Orchid Drive, Francisca S. Escarmon and Carlos M. Murillo.
Okay.
The code section is 2318B3B and code section 14.2. The description, vehicle parked on the front lawn and miscellaneous items in public view. This violation was observed on 12/27/2019 and it was sent certified mail to 12/27/2019 and signed for on 12/30/2019. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, pictures.
People in the back.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
I mean, whose case is this? They're not sure whose this is.
Oh, I thought you called it 765 Orchid.
I did.
Or,
765?
yeah. Yep. Yep.
What is the address? Yeah, 765.
Don't confuse us any worse. Wow, someone used a lot of green. All right, you have a signed green card. What am I looking at? Vehicle on the lawn. Okay. Signed green card equals service.
Can you say your name for the record?
My name. What's the name?
What is your name, sir?
Carlos Murillo, yeah.
Okay. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, the previous order finding violation, the signed green card.
Oh.
You kind of noticed that too.
Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. Do you have any objections to these documents?
No, no got it, yeah. So with other people here now, they move it out in 11 days, no more here.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah,
No other objection?
yeah.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, so my guess is Silver Explorer, Ford product. See?
Kind of looks like that, yeah.
Yeah, kind of looks like a Silver Explorer. I'm a Ford guy, considering I own a couple of them. All right, so we have a vehicle parked by the front door, not in the parking.
If we could, 23-18, which is vehicle parked on the front lawn, is going to be a continue to comply. That's come into compliance.
Okay.
The miscellaneous items have not, so.
What are they?
Well, in this particular picture, there's like a,
Just the carport is shed
yeah,
area?
there's like a dresser or something in the carport and then something leaning up against the house.
Gotcha. There's a beige looking something in the front of the house, and there's a back of
I
piece
give
of
you back the
furniture. I can see on
picture,
the
yes.
screen too.
And then something off on to the side as well.
Okay. Gotcha. And they're still there?
It's been out of compliance for 48
That was dated as of yesterday.
So we're
Okay.
asking for a fine of $3,600 and continuing.
4 days?
48.
Oh, 48. I'm like, 4 days, about 1,200 a day. No. All right, 48 days. All right, they're saying you have things in your yard and your carport that don't need to be there, and you've had them there for 48 days, and they shouldn't be there. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand, but he don't have a more vehicle here. He move it out, so. He move it out the house. He don't have a more. He got 2 times. He got no more. He not living in the house more.
Are you talking about the car or the furniture?
No, it's not my car. The people live in the house. But I rent. He move it out. He not living more in the house.
All right, so you're telling me they've moved?
Yeah.
Is everything clear? Because what's the last picture there?
It's clear. He move it out.
Yesterday. Well, they have a picture from yesterday that shows that stuff's still laying around.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. You're going to show it to him again.
He's
It's on
super.
It's on
It's
the
on the
screen.
screen.
We could put-
211.
He's
Up
super
there.
to move it out. Yeah.
Not the car, sir, the
Not the
miscellaneous
car.
items.
The
You can't have furniture and stuff outside.
yeah, this is not outside furniture.
The furniture they got leave it for the garbage. Supposed to come and move it out or put it in the garbage man.
Well, right now it's just going to get you fines, so you need to move it out or put it in the garbage or something. It needs to go somewhere. 48 days, how much?
3,600 and continuing.
There's going to be a $3,600 fine on the property. If you want to stop that, you need to get that stuff out and then call. Do you see what he's, could you point that out to him on a picture? He's staring up at there like it's, unknown.
He wants on a physical copy of the picture.
You have the picture? Just take that over there and show him that, it's like, please, just point it out to him.
So anything that's outside is supposed to be patio stuff, so.
The garbage.
This has gotta go, this has gotta go, and whatever he's got there,
Mm-hmm.
that all needs to go.
And how much is the fine on this property?
$75 a day.
$75 a day.
For today, I don't go to the house, but I got the hospital all day. But tomorrow, I go and move it out. Me move it out tomorrow. I not see today for the house. The people are living put in here. The badge.
Well,
Look, when it's,
then you can call for a reinspection. but
Yeah,
she
move
was
it
out
out.
there and took a
I move
picture
it
of
out
this
tonight.
wall.
Me move it out tonight.
okay, well, do you want them to go by tomorrow and look?
Yeah, I move it out everything today.
All right, well, I'm going to grant the $3,600 plus continuing, and hopefully you'll go back tomorrow and it'll be stopped. And then we can talk about mitigation later on. Okay, 3,600 is granted.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
All right.
next.
Next, we're moving to page 7. It's a violation hearing, 19-1727-101 Sandpiper Avenue, Arelis Castaneda.
18. I hope. All right,
Code section 15141, there's dead tree. I observed this violation on 12/2/19. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 12/3/19. Received it signed but not dated on 12/19/19. Like to know those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
sign green card equals service.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that Phil would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, violation, the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents? Any objection?
No.
Okay.
All right, admitted without objection.
No, it's not objection.
Okay. So it's a palm tree?
Yeah.
Queen palm,
Yeah.
died of natural causes.
Probably lightning struck or something?
Foliage, turned brown. Just
Oh, okay.
I threw away all of it. It's just the remaining trunk.
Yeah. See, I have this 1968 Jeep, and one of the greatest things in life is for me to hook it to things and pull them over and cut them down. And then I drag it out to the curb and cut it into pieces. So you're going to need to get this cut up by 3/26.
Yes, or $48 or $25 a day fine. And
So-
sir, what is your name for the record?
Jose Andujar.
Spell your last name, please.
AND
ALAR.
UJAR.
Oh, UJR.
I've been wanting to cut it down sooner, but I'm just waiting for I'm sure I want to do it legally.
No, that's fine. 320 is 48.
Correct.
326 48
48 or
25.
$25 day fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a chainsaw I got from the hurricanes that just does wonders, once a year I'll chop something down, and you need to go chop it down, and when you do it, give them a call so they can go by and say, tree's down. Okay? As long as you get it done before March 26th, you're, oh, does he?
Yes.
Oh, in that case, you have to get a permit, but it probably doesn't,
I'm gonna help them with it after.
I don't think it costs anything. Is that a free permit?
It is for the homeowner.
Okay, so you get a free permit. They just want to make sure you have enough trees left on your property.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, 326 48 25 is granted, and she's going to help them out.
Thank you.
All right,
To
and
the
we
fine
have,
mitigations.
But, okay, never mind.
Fine mitigations on page 8, 13-0819.
is this the rest of them?
Yeah, there's 3 cases.
Yeah. Haynes.
723 Hibiscus Drive, Glenn and Marjorie Haynes.
Wow, 13, 15, 15.
Like to enter into evidence the previous order assessing fine, verification of ownership, and request for fine mitigation. Oh,
All right, we're going to handle these sequentially, or as a group? It's up to you.
We can read them all in now if you'd like, or
It's all up to you, I don't care. You can
let's
do
go
it
ahead and read them all in. While I have that case called, we'll give you the fine amounts. The fine amount is $58,425. The next case is 15-0199, 723 Hibiscus Drive, Glenn and Marjorie Haynes.
like to enter into evidence the request for fine mitigation, the order finding violation, and verification of ownership.
Okay.
Yeah, order assessing fine. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The fine amount in that case is $41,800, and the next case is 15-0288, 723 Hibiscus Drive, Glenn and Marjorie Haynes.
Like to enter into evidence the request for fine mitigation. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine, and Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership.
Okay. And the amount of this one?
$41,100.
40, 80, and 60, 140. Ah, pretty cool.
Yes.
State your name for the record, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard Carey. I represent the current owners of the property.
Spell your last name, sir.
Carey.
Kind of like Drew. Okay.
Yes.
Long lost cousin. All right, Mr. Carey, I take it you're not with the Haynes. You probably purchased this somewhere somehow.
So I can give you the full,
Yeah,
I'm
give
not
me the
gonna
short
you
version.
I'll give you the story. The story's kind of an interesting story. So Glenn was the son of Marjorie Haynes. Marjorie Haynes had passed away. She was the one that was actually residing in this property. Glenn has resided pretty much in Canada his whole entire life, and he lives in a little small part in Canada of Newfoundland, which is actually north of Nova Scotia. So he lives...
property there. How's that?
Do you really?
Actually, my father did and he died, so property there.
Okay, so then you know how far north that is.
1,000 miles north of Boston.
Yes, that is correct. So after his mother passed away, obviously he had done nothing with this property. The violations were going to the property address. Even if they were, let's be honest, if they were going to his address in Canada, he probably was not going to do anything with this. It got so bad to the point where obviously the code violations were being assessed. And at this point, my client is a person who builds homes and was looking to build homes in this area. So they actually contacted me. I was able to find Glenn. We did a deal with Glenn to buy this property. My client was willing to take it with the code violations, knowing that they were going to knock this house down, which they have already done, to bring this into compliance and build a beautiful home in this neighborhood. So we're here seeking, a reduction of these fines because, they're not, a global investor or anything like this. They do 1 or 2 houses at a time. They do not have infinite funds, and they're trying to actually beautify this neighborhood.
Okay, what's the village's position with regards to these?
I would like to hear numbers from the requester.
Okay. So we were hoping to get a 10% where it would be, I guess we're at 140, so we were looking to be around $14,000 for the payment of the code violations, which we would obviously pay whatever time frame that you would like. Again, you know, this is for the purpose of, this house has been dilapidated. It's been sitting in this neighborhood. It's been run down for a long period of time, and just by the new owners coming in and knocking it down, at least making it into an empty lot, has already beautified the neighborhood, and they are constructing a new home in the area.
You've heard the numbers.
Yes, we
Now-
certainly will not, are not amenable to a 10% on all of these. The village's issue is that I'm sure you bought it for a reduced price, given the amount of the liens.
They
Bought it subject to a large lien.
They did buy it subject to a large lien, but I guess it was, they paid, I mean, it's public records, they paid $105,000, I believe.
Okay, so $105,000, it's with, if it was in all perfect shape, to be what, 250 to 3?
300, right, so a third of the price. But
So
he's
a
asking
third,
for
but he's got
10% of
liens all, okay, so,
They have to construct a house, I mean, that's,
We understand, but the village's position is that the respondent not being present and the house sitting like that, the neighbors of the house had to deal with that for years and years and years. So while I understand and certainly am sympathetic to the fact that you're gonna be putting a new house there and it's gonna be beautiful, that doesn't eliminate completely the years that the property was in disrepair.
okay, so what is the village's number then?
So I'll give you, we need 3 orders on these. They're requested separately. So for the first case, we would agree to reduction to the amount of $12,160.16, payable within 60 days, which is the 4/13 date. In 15-0199, we would be amenable to reducing it to $8,801.86. And in case 15-0288, we would be amenable to reducing it to $8637.09, also payable by 4/13.
28, about double, 20%. Am I right in my math? 8 and 8 are 16, 17, 29, so that's about double, a little over 20%, I would say.
is there any way the village would split the baby and give us at 21,000?
I've given you my numbers.
And I can only request from the magistrate that,
I'm trying to be consistent and legal and logically consistent with the people. I had Mr. Sarah come in and you did it at 20%. You're doing it at 20% level now.
It's a significant reduction. Again, he
Is-
bought it
is
at a discounted
20%,
price.
that's approximately what they're talking about here. So you're gonna be with,
all I can do is ask.
all I can do is ask. All right, so give me the date by which they are due.
4/13.
Okay. I will grant on case number 13-0819, $12,160.60 by 4/13. On case number 15-199, $8,801.86 by 4/13. And in case number 15-288, $8,363.09 by 4/13.
8,000 what?
8363.09.
09, okay.
Granted, granted, granted.
And the first one, I'm sorry, was 12160.60?
I had .16.
Okay, you said 0.60, so I wanted to
Oh,
make sure.
can you,
1.16.
All right.
sorry.
You're going to get orders, but.
Yeah, I just want to, so I can report back to my client.
$12,160.16.
16, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good. All
Thank you
good.
very much, I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a wonderful evening.
Okay.
Now we're moving back to
Page
page
one.
1 of our agenda, fine assessment hearings again, 19-1721, 265 Las Palmas Street, Progress Residential Borrower 7 LLC.
It's early and I feel like I've been here forever.
We may need a quick recess.
Or,
Is Linda's case, I guess?
No,
Okay, well,
it's
just-
Gail, she's going to get all her files.
that's Gail.
Okay.
I feel so much better after our recess. Now, why can't we open the doors like we normally do?
Shh, we're getting old. Doors are heavy.
You know, that's my excuse for a lot these days. We're getting old, it's gonna hurt.
Okay, the code, I want to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, the previous order finding violation, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
All right, signed and stamped green card by Mr. Wes Miller. I love his stamp. What would you like?
This has been out of compliance for 13 days at $50, so a fine of $650 and continuing.
Ooh, it's even a dually, too. All right, $650 plus continuous granted.
19-1485101 Hemingway Court, Progress Residential, 2015, 3 Borrower LLC.
Now it's Linda's cases.
You're up.
Yeah.
For Dina's cases.
Hi, Dina.
Okay. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, served by posting and I see the canvas top of a playset. What would you like?
This has been out for 13 days at $25 a day, so $325
$325
and
plus
continuing.
continuing is granted.
19-1531106 Hemingway Court, McCormick Residential Trust, and Benoit Malou Trust.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation and verification, order finding violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right. Served via posting. And what do we have here? I've seen it cleaner. Okay.
And again, I'm sorry for the record, that should have been trustee on Benoit Malou. This has been out of compliance for 13 days. We're asking for $325 and continuing.
$325 plus continuing is granted.
19-1534 876 Gardenia Drive, Ellen M. and Howard J. Burke.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, service via posting. And I don't think you'll find a quarter at the bottom of that one.
This again's been out for 13 days, so $325 and continuing.
Granted.
19-1619 605 Garden Crest Trail, 2018 3 IH Borrower LP.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, the order finding violation with the USPS track and confirm. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have a USPS tracking confirmed for service. And looks like Margaret's piece of paper down there, but it's Dina's.
This has been out again for 13 days, so $325 and continuing.
Granted.
19-1684 is being pulled. 19-1816 is being pulled. 19-1398 175 Sunflower Circle, Scott and Kathleen Stiles.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order, finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Served via posting. And what do we have here? Sometimes it's just better to leave it all in grass. Okay, what would you like?
This has again been out for 13 days, so $325 and continuing.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1572 123 South State Road 7, number 203, Real Sub LLC.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order, finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Another guy with a good, Ruby. Another person with a good stamp. God, I almost thought that water spot was a shadow there. All right, prohibited sign is, the back of the store?
Yeah.
They need a sign in the back of the store. $325 plus continuing?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Moved it from the front to the back.
19-1708 1049 Concert Way, IH6 Property, Florida LP.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order, finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. The art of handwriting has been lost. Signed green card.
This again's been out for 13 days, so 325 and continuing.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1450, 123 South State Road 7, Real Sub LLC.
Bollards. What a lovely word. One of these days, we're going to all have self-driving cars and we won't drive through businesses anymore.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
Publix is scared, huh? All right, sign green card equals service. Would you like?
Again, out for 13 days, 325 and continuing.
325 plus continuing is granted.
19-1730, 155 South State Road 7, 309, 315 11th Street LLC.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
Sign green card equals service. All right, what would you like on this?
It's been out for 13 days, 325 and continuing.
325 plus continuing is granted.
19-1732, 11001 Southern Boulevard, IVT, Southern Rural Palm Beach, 1031 LLC.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
They signed for it and, oh, behind Costco. Oh, no. Maybe. Okay. Sign green card equals service. What would you like?
This was out of compliance for 13 days at $75 a day, so we'd be asking for a fine of $975 and not continuing.
Continuing.
And continuing, I'm sorry.
I just wrote no, and now you gotta scratch it out. So 975 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you. Next to repeat violations, 20-0139, 254 Ponce de Leon Street, Progress Residential Borrower 1 LLC.
Code section is 1557. This is a repeat violation for high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 12920, mailed the notice of violation certified, and posted it on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, picture. And Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, well, they finally got around to cutting it. How much is the fine here?
It was out for 7 days at $50 a day, so $350 and not
350, no continuing is granted.
20-0044, 103 Bob White Road, IH6 Property, Florida, LP.
So repeat violation, code section 124C, garbage can in public view. I observed this violation on 11420, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 11420, and they delivered it on 12320. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of repeat violation, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
But it had a home right there by the corner of the garage. You have USPS tracking confirmed. What would you like?
This was out of compliance for 20 days at $50 a day, so a fine of
$1,000?
$1,000.
No continuing?
No.
Finally got someone's attention.
Moving to page 4, violation hearings, 19-1786, 2488 Westmount Lane, Naboja, Garrick.
Code section is 6190A. Structure is stained and may need to be painted. I observed this violation on 12/13/19, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and have actual service. I'd like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
Is that a splotchy paint job or?
No, it's just like worn out.
Oh, okay. It's like patina. Who knows? You have how do you have service there? You talk to them or we have?
He wants to know how you have service.
He spoke to Linda.
That's what I thought. It was great. Okay.
So we're asking for
Actual
compliance
service.
by 326 or 48 or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
19-1800, 223 Ponce de Leon Street, Fitzroy O. and Pauline L. Darlington.
Code sections are 14.2 and 6190A. Debris in view and the sidewalk is stained. I observed this violation on 12/23/19, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and I have actual service because the gentleman walked into the office with the notice in his hand. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
Okay. Actual service works, 326/4825?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
19-1807, 306 La Mancha Avenue, Progress Residential Borrower 5 LLC.
Code section is 2318B2, jet ski on trailers parked on the lawn. I observed this violation on 12/23/19, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, picture, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, so is there a fine on this one?
The violation hearing.
Violation
You're
hearing,
asking
so finding of no?
No.
No. We have an
We're asking for
affidavit.
compliance by 227.
No, this one's
There's a finding of, or there's an affidavit of compliance on that one.
Yeah, it's a
Finding of fact, sorry. 19-1809, 2882 Bella Rosa Circle, Zijun Pan.
Code sections are 15-132 and 9.5, dead palm fronds and landscape areas not being maintained, and hedges exceed 8 feet. I observed this violation on 12/26/19, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed but not dated. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
They are in serious need of a trimmer attachment on their mower or on their gas-powered whatever. All right, you have a signed green card, you have service, what would you like?
Compliance by 227 or the 311 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted, 227, 311, 25.
20-0007, 128 Barcelona Drive, Arnold and Shakira Ramcharan.
Code section is 6190H, shutters are closed. I observed this violation on 1/3/20, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
Okay, you have a signed green card, you have service.
Again, compliance by 227 or the 311 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
20-0026, 242 Bilbao Street, Paramount Residential Mortgage Group, Inc.
Code section is 9.8, front hedges exceed 4 feet. I observed this violation on 1/6/20, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, picture, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, so finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
20-0135, 246 Ponce de Leon Street, Melissa Lee and Sean Carey Arno.
Code sections are 12.5 and 15-132. Debris, curbside too early, and concrete debris from mailbox stand is a hazard. I observed this violation on 1/29/20, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted it on the property. I'd like to enter evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, picture, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
You know, I thought someone actually had hit that thing.
I think somebody did.
And then they just let it lay there on their side, and I looked at it and said,
Yeah.
they're never gonna take it away, you need to bust it into pieces
they-
and put it in your trash can.
They haven't put up a mailbox, so I knew I wasn't going to get service on it.
Okay. Finding of fact is granted. Now they probably have a mailbox.
No, I got
They-
everything, I got everything
They don't have a
back.
mailbox yet?
No.
Wow, that's lazy.
20-0168 is being pulled.
Okay.
20-0169, 180 Bilbao Street. Do you don't have service on that one?
No, not on that one.
180 Bilbao Street, Cerebus SFR Holdings LP.
Code sections are 14.2 and 6191, debris on the property. I observed this violation on 1/31/20, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter the evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
All right. Okay, what would you like?
Compliance by 227 or the 311 fine hearing or $50 a day fine.
Granted.
19-1713, 100 Princeton Court, Jose L. and Maria J. Carrero.
The code section is 6190A135 and 124C, description, driveway and sidewalk are staying, garbage can in public view. This violation was observed on 11/25/2019 and sent certified mail on 11/25/2019. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. They can't move it right behind the fence. They have to leave it in front. And yes, they have dirty sidewalks. Okay.
We're asking for compliance by 326 or the 4/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
19-1777, 111 Mill Pond Lane, Fernando Rodriguez.
The code section is 16906-190H, and the description is shutter is up. Oh, and 942, fences in disrepair. This violation was observed on 12/12/2019, and it was sent certified mail 12/13/2019 and returned unclaimed and then posted. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
Track and confirm his service. What would you like?
Compliance by 326 or the 4/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
19-1781, 785 Carissa Drive, Jose A. Rodriguez.
At least this has some variety.
The code sections 2316, 1557, 6190A135 and D, 15132, 98, and 142. Vehicle parked in the swale facing the wrong direction. Grass and weeds exceed maximum height allowed. Driveway and sidewalk are stained. Planting areas are overgrown and hedges are over 4 feet in height, along with miscellaneous items on the property. This violation was written on 12/12/2019 and sent certified mail, returned unclaimed, and posted. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
And they need to edge too. You have service via posting. What would you like?
Compliance by 326 or the 4/8 fine hearing or $75 a day fine.
Granted. 75.
19-1783, 790 Carissa Drive, Michael and Tracy Thomas.
The code section 6190A1, 3, and 5. The description is driveway and sidewalk are stained. This violation was observed on 12/12/2019. It was sent certified mail on 12/13/2019 and signed for on 12/16/2019. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. And Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance.
One of the worst I've ever seen. That's some good darkness. Okay. Finding fact?
Yes, sir, but one correction, the PCN number needs a 0 at the end for your order.
170170. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you, sir. 19-1677, 203 Bob White Road, Christopher R. Alicio and Tanya M. Mills.
Code sections 2657, structure in a setback without a permit. I observed this violation on 11/18/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 11/19/19, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
What the heck is that? It's like not sighted in, so it doesn't look like a playhouse. It's some sort of.
It's, she calls it an orchid house.
Oh, okay. So that's a pergola-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, pergola-ish.
Okay. 326?
Yeah, compliance by 326 or 4/8 or $25 a day. Fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1720, 141 Ider Court, Albertha Color.
Code section
How she closes
06190H,
it.
shutters
Or
and boards on windows and doors. I observed this violation on 12/2/19, sent out a violation notice of hearing on 12/2/19, and posted it to the property. Pardon me. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, picture. Excuse-
Coronavirus? Finding of fact is
Exhibit
granted.
4, affidavit complaint.
Thank you. 19-1726, 112 Sandpiper Avenue, Carrie Mahoney.
Give the woman a mint.
Terrible cold. Code section 06198, shutter. I observed this violation on 12/2/19, sent out notice violation, notice of hearing on 12/2/19, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
Only 4 months after the hurricane season ended.
19-1735, 234 Sandpiper Avenue, Patricia P. Ward.
Code section 06190H, 942 and 95. Shutters on the windows, fence in disrepair, hedge exceeds maximum height of 8 foot. Observe this violation on 12/3/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 12/4/19, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. What would you like on this?
And this one, code section 9-5, which is the hedges exceed 8 feet, is a finding of fact.
Okay.
And the remaining code sections compliance by 326 or 4/8 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1766, 10236 Serenade Lane, Luis A. and Maria R. Ranhel.
Code section is 06190A1, 622, 108.4, and 42. Structure is stained, work without a permit, and miscellaneous items. I observed this violation on 12/9/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 12/10/19, may sign for it on 12/12/19. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Yeah, it's a great place to put a rake. Okay. Signed green card equals service. What
On
would you
this
like?
one, code section 6-22, 108.4, which is a work without a permit, is a finding of fact. And for the remaining sections, compliance by 326 or the 4/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right, hold on. Finding of fact on 6-22, 108.4, and the rest is 326, 48, 25?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
19-1770, 120 Sparrow Drive, Parkview at Palm Beach Condo Association.
Code section 06190A1, 2349, A14, and 6135. Sidewalks are stained, parking lot striping is faded, building address numbers are not contrasting in color. I observed this violation on 12/10/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 12/11/19, and received it on 12/18/19. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Maybe they're trying to hide the numbers.
Maybe.
Camo.
They fixed them.
Okay. So they fix that? Do I have a?
Yeah, you have, on your agenda, do you have 6-193-2A?
Yes.
Just cross that out, that's being removed.
All right.
06190A1 and 6-135, which are the sidewalk stained and the building address not in contrasting colors, are finding of fact.
Hold on. Now you're making it really interesting for this diagram. All right. And this one over here, and that's sidewalks are stained and building color address not in contrasting colors. Got it.
Finding of fact, the remaining code section comply by 326 or the 4/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Okay. So that's just the striping, right?
Yes.
It worked eventually. All right. Granted.
Thank you.
19-1784 is being pulled. 19-1814, 146 Meadowlark Drive, Mark S. and Shirley J. Morrison.
Code section is 14-4, disabled vehicle. I observed this violation on 12/30/19, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 12/31/19, and I got the USPS tracking on 1/10/20. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Looks like a lovely car. What kind? Do we know? Looks kind of Jaguar-ish almost.
Jaguar. The first one is a
There we
Jag.
go. See, I got my cars. All right, what would you like?
Compliance by 326 or the 4.8 fine hearing, a $25 a day fine.
It was owned by Ford for a while, and their mechanics picked up, and now it's owned by Tata Motors of India. I know these things. All right, granted, 326, 48, 25. Anything further?
Sure.
7:45. It's a good time. 7:42.